So, we begin our game in the city of Ordisia, in the Holy Empire, run by the god Helm. In this land, the traditional races of orcs, goblins, ogres, and the such have been subjugated and enslaved by the great empire. Creatures such as tieflings and half and changelings are killed upon birth if found to keep the chaos away, and all magic, apart from that of the divine given by Helm himself, is outlawed and meant to be destroyed. This is a world of order. This is a world where all things are controlled. But control does need its guardians. And thus is where this party is. You are the religious obligators for bent on making sure that all things in the city work proper. You have various jobs and opportunities, making sure slaves are kept in check, preventing runaways, but your primary goal is to prevent any spread of the arcane. Any hint of it must be stamped out before it grows, before it can bring its evil roots within this great nation. Our story begins in the Capitol building, in the halls of the Archangel Lothian. Here our four obligators are met to gather today's mission and to meet each other for the first days, for you are all new to this job. This is your first true assignment where you've been basically upgraded from pencil pushers to street cops, if for terminology's sake. You stand alone or together in these four velvety chairs sitting next to each other, looking over the shining beacon of the robed figure. For the sake of simplicity, we will start each person describing each character as they look around each other at their fellow companions. We'll start at the top of the list. Diotar, please feel free to describe your character.
God, I need to change my name. I can't think first. Every single time everybody's like, well, let's start from the top of the list, Diotar. Okay. Essentially, you see like an elven sharpshooter, like bone his back. Well, wait, since we're in the call, would our weapons be taken away or not?
Dude, you're in the presence of an archangel. Your weapons are about as threatening as a
I
pool
mean,
noodle.
I don't know. Maybe listen. Some people take offense to having weapons around them. Okay, maybe we're in modern day America. It seems pretty similar to the setting, but like, okay. So
you guys aren't like I said. You guys are the obligators and inquisitors. You guys are quite elite. You're always allowed to have your weapons upon you.
I know. I was making a joke about
legally
America.
obligated to do so.
Anyway, you see this elf, like standard elf, you know, pointy ears, brown hair, wearing studded leather armor, basically what you'd imagine to be an elven archer, pretty much. Nothing stands out again from him. He even has a very common name for an elf that probably the party would know, since probably we met before, so it's Joel, because Joel is a normal elf name, of course. And yeah, nothing really stands out for him. He could essentially be passed off as your everyday citizen, except in armor and with a bow.
Okay. Next up is Liam. If you will, describe your character as the part everyone looks about.
Yeah. Arwen is a fairly short-looking Aasimar with plain gray robes and yellow trimming and a fairly large shield with the symbol of Helm just emblazoned on it, and has reddish hair and pretty also kind of nondescript. The only thing that stands out is the fucking shield, and the robes look a little eccentric, but other than that, he's pretty also nondescript. God, I
Okay.
describe it.
So, as Liam describes his nondescript character.
Listen, I suck at describing shit.
Sorry, it's just kind of funny.
I need
Next
to get
up,
better at that.
next up is Jordan. Jordan, you're up.
I think he's.
Jordan died.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Jordan has committed
Jordan might
the
be
die.
muted without realizing he's muted. Or is that one or the other?
I
really.
remember him saying he was going for a second. I don't think I've heard him since then. So
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll continue on to Eric. Well, I mean, actually, we'll go to Baka at the end, though, since obviously
Yeah.
Jordan and Eric are kind of a combo set.
all right, so you'll see obviously a golden dragonborn, adorned with heavy armor, well maintained. His shield at his side, sword in the sheath. Pretty hefty height, because again, this is in. You'll probably see obviously he has his colors because background he is a soldier and he is very proud of that. Probably seen him around the inn if he wasn't doing anything in particular.
Okay. Well, moving forward, I don't know how long Jordan's going to be.
We can describe Constantine because I don't think is Constantine even allowed in the room, or maybe they saw them like outside of the hall. And he's
I mean,
just waiting.
Constantine would technically be your valet, but Sarah, we'll say for the purposes of this, you could be outside the hall.
All right. So Constantine, as you guys approach the main hall in order to enter the room with the velvet seats and the cool ambiance, you would have seen that waiting outside, arms crossed, kind of like trying his best to make as little space as possible, but ultimately failing because he is like 6'5" and like brawny as fuck, is a half orc. He clearly has the he clearly has a brand right on his neck, and even if you try to exchange pleasantries, he mostly just nodded and gave like short, curt answers, if anything. He tried his best not to talk too much, and yeah, he's got decently long black hair, and his outfit is one of those is kind of peculiar in the fact that it's like you're pretty sure that someone tried to keep dressing him up, but then through one means or another, he kept ripping the clothes or something. So like, you see part of like a vest here, or like, workers' pants there, or something like that. It's all like piecemeal and like you're pretty sure that if all the clothes weren't torn apart, basically, it'd be a really weird outfit.
Okay. Jordan, you back yet? Well, okay. Well, with Jordan, giving Jordan a couple more minutes here, I will describe the layout of the city then while we're waiting. So as you guys can notice that this is the city of Ordisia, and there are several districts in the city. You guys right now are obviously in the high-end central district, where the government center is, and basically the most important people live. This would be, all the high, rich things, with the outer wall being continuation of the rich district here. The second district is the market district. This would be where most trade happens, most of the middle class lives. While the third district is the poorer district. This is where all basically the lower level citizens live. This is where you'll find your more mundane entertainment, such as the arena for combats and citizenry, as well as the docks to the north, where obviously the shipping of the Great Lake occurs.
I'm back. I apologize for that one.
No worries, Jordan. You may describe your character now, though, as you are sitting in the council chamber for the rest of the party.
My character. Hold on. You based it this off of sound, so this should be okay. Also, where are we actually seated?
Well, you're entering the hall where you see red velvet chairs ready to be seated before Lothian. Your orc is standing outside right now.
Well, In the room enters a 5'6" small crotchety old man with a cane and no visible weaponry, wearing a well-used studded leather, well worn, and a lot of scarring on his skin is like the first notable thing you pick out as he shambles and takes a seat.
Okay. So, as the four of you sit down upon the entry, sitting in your seats, looking at the people around you, in the kind of large voice of the Archangel Lothian, he looks up through his shadowed cowl figured in great wings, looks up at all of you. Move over to his room. Well, it would seem you have all arrived. I believe it is, and he looks at each one of you in order. Joel, Evriam, Arwen, and Vencode. I thank you for coming to my summons. We have business at the city that must be attended to. Things have been not well of late, and I need investigators to look into some various problems we have had. As he looks over and shuffles some papers. First trouble, of course, and by far most significant is, people have been going missing from the city of late. For the most part, these people have been slaves. Orcs, goblins. We assumed runaways at first, but other citizens have gone missing as well. Proper citizens. This, of course, leads to us being more worried about the situation. The most recent of these was a pregnant mother. Well, 9 months pregnant to be exact, and her husband went missing just the other day. We assume these may be related, but obviously that's uncertain. But that's what I have the four of you to go investigate about. As he looks at each of you, goes, do you have any questions about this?
Do we have a location of where these kidnappings seem to be centralized?
In the poor districts is where they generally occur. Unfortunately, the area is vast and wide, for the exact location is difficult. As I say, many of them were slaves, but many were not either of late. I would say poor districts are the way to look.
Since we know that it's a pregnant lady, her husband, and her unborn child, which has to come along with the lady, that have been kidnapped.
Sorry, it's just really hard picturing that elf you created. You're like you talking like this. It's just fucking the lady, nice lady.
Nice lady.
Theo just speaks
Nice.
for 10 seconds. All seriousness drops.
You can't be serious around me. But no, if we know that it's a lady that's pregnant and has a husband, right? So we probably identify the lady. So do we have a location where they live? Like,
Yes, we have their home location. If that's what you are asking for.
yeah, it might be useful to go there and investigate.
Indeed, their house is to this just by the walls of this poor district from the business district. As far as we are aware, her husband and her have had dealings within the business district quite a lot. locations with the local temple, obviously, since that is where her medical checkups for her birth would take place. Perhaps not a bad place to start, as well.
DM clarification. Since the Dirter comment, I kind of lost track. Is the husband missing as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
The husband, the woman, and the baby with the woman.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I couldn't be sure of anything after that comment. I needed a reality check.
It's
Moving
worth
on.
double checking.
Jesus.
Yes, he does say that. Yes, they, as I said, the temple would be a good place, though. Little hovel is, as I say, he marks it off on the map for you. It's an unimportant area, but he marks off where the house where they would have been, where they lived. As far as known locations about the missing people, the local watch had explored their house as well, but were unable to find any evidence of a forced entry. If you, of course, think you could find others, feel free to look. You are the investigators. You may use the full authority of Helm to get any sort of information you believe is necessary.
Should we find the cause of these kidnappings, I assume we are to deal with it too.
Of course, heathen must always be gotten rid of. Whatever is the case of these kidnappings or runaways or whatever the case may be, you are supposed to deal with it in the way of the law, which you all know.
Of course.
Kind of looks over at the four of you. Is there anything else you want to discuss with me, or do you wish to begin your investigation immediately?
I have no more questions.
No more questions here either.
Ah, Joe, I see. So the fact that the mother and the baby being together was obvious enough for you. Well, that is good.
Hey, you never know with these people, okay?
Very well. The four of you may leave, and Erevim, be careful. Be sure to make sure that orc of yours is behaved.
I nod.
You're refusing to use the voice.
Hey, look, my character is aware what he sounds like, so he makes it a personal. He makes it a personal point to talk as little as possible.
Oh, it's gonna be great when the big heroic speech comes. Okay. With that, you guys are ushered out of the Capitol building. Constantine, you see your master and his three companions leave the office.
I follow closely behind Master.
Okay. As you guys
Feet away from him.
exit into the city streets. So, as you exit into the city streets, full of beware of your mission and stuff, the four of you look at each other and may discuss which you wish to do first.
It'd probably be best if we have a look around that house just in case, and maybe talk to the local guards there to see if exactly what they might have found.
Could also talk to the neighbors, see if they saw anything suspicious.
What of you, Arwen? You have any suggestions?
No, not really. They'll both sound like good suggestions I would have thought of, so I have nothing else to add.
Alright, 1 second while I raise your volume.
1 second,
Turn
boss.
down my-
You're maxed
turn
out!
down
How
my
the hell are you so
sensitivity as
quiet?
well. You can
You're
turn down
maxed
my-
out, I could barely hear you.
Weirdly enough, 1 second as I do the same.
Am I talking too low?
When you do
no.
the voice, yes.
Yeah, like, just
I can
now,
try
yeah,
and
you're
talk louder
you're
if you like. Is this
you're
better?
talking too quiet to be at 200% for me. Is the issue.
Wow. I apologize then. Jeez.
I'm like, wait, what?
Ah. Good
I'll
to know.
also extend my mics or my headset's volume just to add it to the.
Okay. So, as you guys exit into the streets, as you gather, and make your way towards the hovel where the husband and wife had gone missing. It takes you a bit of a walk as you get down there, and you find what looks to be a single base-looking house. For the purposes of marking, you guys are here.
Ah.
Sweet.
So as you look about the small building, you find it to be a fair, like I say, a basic small building. You guys are able to just simply walk in if you so choose. The door is open.
Okay.
I shall, and I'll just start prepping to ritual cast detect magic.
I was about to do the same thing.
Okay.
Two eyes not better than one.
Indeed.
As I say, nothing special. You see what looks to be a 2-bedroom, single-floor house, a kitchen with a living room. Very base, sparse, pretty clean. It's well kept, well cleaned. Is there anything you guys are specifically looking for, or is it just a general kind of poking about?
First things first, signs of forced entry.
Okay. Roll me an investigation.
Investigating.
But guidance.
I know, I have guidance as well. Fun times.
No, I don't have guidance anymore. I'm telling you to use your own guidance.
Nah, not yet. I believe
Okay.
in me.
You look around the place for force entries. You're checking the windowsills for possibly small knife marks just in case the window had been unlatched. You look at the doors. Nothing seems to indicate any form of forced entry that you can imagine. You do look about. You do what seems to be kind of scrapes on the floors, which could have been from moved furniture, but you have no reason to suspect that moved furniture was forced entry or could have just been rearranging furniture.
How recent are they?
Within a week.
And when were they reported missing?
I
A
was
few days
just
ago.
about to ask. We didn't actually ask that question.
He actually told you it was a few days ago they went. The family was the last time the family went missing.
Okay.
While he's investigating, I'd go around and ask a few neighbors if they saw anything weird happen on the eve of that day when they disappeared.
Okay, great. Roll me just a general persuasion check for this.
Okay.
Okay, you go around asking the neighbors in the way where you look for the baby with the mother that was in the tummy and had to be left alone.
Listen, with magic, you never know. Maybe he took just the mother.
I carry my baby that's being developed in a happy sack.
What you didn't realize is that you never asked the species. These are kangaroo people. The baby is just in her pouch.
What we didn't ask is whether they were Fae or not, because that fucking child might have just Fae stepped out of her. See ya, mom.
You talk to the people about with it. They don't seem to recall anything specific of happening. You know, people in this poor district go in and out around the area all the time. They didn't see anything they figure was suspicious.
I see. Okay, so are we just waiting for the ritual cast of detect magic then?
Well, I mean, it would have went off by now. You guys don't detect anything.
Okay.
In that case,
There's
May
no
I-
trace magic in the house yet.
detect evil and good, and I'm focusing on like the desecrated or consecrated. We don't know what's here. It might be that. Who knows?
So you cast first level divination spell, okay?
Mhm.
For the duration of duration, you know if there are any aberrational celestial fae fiend or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Certainly know if there is a place or object magically consecrated or desecrated. No, you do not sense any of that.
All right, worth checking.
Oh no, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. You don't sense that though.
All right.
So, no forced entry, no magic, and nothing the neighbor saw.
What's the kitchen like?
I mean, it's fairly sparse for food. I mean, this is the poor district, but there's some loaves of bread in there, a sack of flour.
No, I mean, like, what state is it in?
It's fairly tidy. As I said, the place is clean.
Okay, so the kitchen was cleaned before they did it. So, and when was the time of disappearance? Do we know that, or
Well, you don't have like an hour. You just have like it was about 3
a
days
general
ago.
thing? I mean, meant a general time frame, like.
The last time people saw them was in the evening. Was the last
In the
recorded
evening.
sighting of them. Yeah, sometime in the evening is the closest you guys got for that.
Okay.
Now, that initial investigation check does for forced entry, does that also coincide with struggle?
Hmm?
Signs of struggle.
Yeah, force entry and struggle. I mean, they're kind of the one and the same.
Yeah,
Signs of
figured.
struggle would be smashed plates, overturned chairs. I said the place looks pretty clean. You gather that there wasn't a struggle or a force entry in here.
I look at my slave expectantly.
There are drag marks on the floor. You know what could be underneath some furniture if we move it? Secret latches or basement, or it could be attic or something. I was just trying to help, but slave don't know that. Slave's dumb.
Brent looks up. God.
Hey, I'm a crotchety old man. If a half-orc talks to me, I have to like squint up.
Can I touch the furniture?
I give a go-ahead gesture.
Constantine is going to where he saw the signs of like furniture of like, you know, floor marks and stuff. He's going to see if he can move any furniture along those floor marks and see if there's anything underneath them, or like a movable rug or something like that. He's really trying not to get too handsy, and like, because he knows that if he picks up a chair, sometimes some people are like, he's got a weapon, kill him. So he's trying his best.
Okay, so you move the furniture where you think that where the scuff marks are, and you kind of start moving it about. You look about with the scuff marks, moving the bookcases over. You do see that there is a cellar in by one of the areas.
Mm-hmm.
You open it up quickly and find it's just a food storage cellar. So probably this is a cabinet that just gets moved over the cellar door every once in a while. Because it's got like a bit of a cold storage underneath it.
Okay. Alright, then yeah, I'll move everything back, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one single thing you moved, so it wasn't like a lot.
Every shelf individually.
You gather part of the reason there's a shelf over it is it looks like there's no latch on the trap door when you move it. This is probably just like a makeshift version of, hey, we don't have a lock, this is cheaper.
Okay. So that means a week ago they went into their storage cellar, like either to store food or to take food.
Yeah.
How much food was in there, actually?
Do you want to go look? I can remove the cabinet.
Yeah, you guys should open and look. I mean,
Yeah, I would have looked when you initially opened it.
Okay, with a quick investigation look, you could have seen that there was probably at least about 4 days worth of food, maybe more for a family of 2 or 3. So about, let's say, 15 days worth of rations as far as an individual is concerned.
Well, is there any like because like older homes and stuff like that used to have like, you know, dust wouldn't like there would be a thinner layer of dust where something got moved. Is there any signs of them food stuff like that where it's just like food was taken from here? Like I know it's all probably dusty and messed up, but
Yeah, I
any
would
thinner
say
layers?
look at that. I would the separate investigation, Constantine. Go ahead and roll it.
Could I assist?
Constantine have to look. My dad's right there. You fucking...
So you just pointed at like, this is hilarious. As you just shove Emmerich to go look. Sure. Someone roll me an investigation.
Now, can I assist him? Because I have the proficiency.
Sure. I'll give Constantine an advantage. Go ahead. Advantage.
I'm looking for a 29.
Okay. You look around, Emmerich, and you can tell that yes, there has been food that has been removed of late. There it looks like there could have been some jars of things missing, preservatives, preserved foods. You have absolutely no idea what kind, but you can see like where there were like little ring marks where jars used to be.
And would I be aware of how long ago this was?
I mean, honestly, there's no realistic way of knowing that.
The amount of dust seems like 4 days worth of dust.
Yeah,
you,
I mean, like,
you joke about that, but I can distinguish days of days of accumulated dust.
true, which would be more viable if this wasn't like sealed up with a in case in a building.
Yeah, I know.
So dust is like dust wouldn't really accumulate in the cellar. That's the whole purpose of a store.
You know
Of a
that the
cold
stretch marks
storage.
happened weeks ago, so probably around that time, most likely.
By
If
the
you
way,
had to take a
Keith,
shot in the dark.
since this isn't the first thing, is like are the people who have gone missing concentrated in one area or just thrown around haphazardly around the entire port district?
It seems to be mostly haphazardly from what you were told. Though, like I say, a lot of the slaves that were missing are closer to the dock area. Seem to, at least at the beginning of this thing a few months ago. But again, nobody thought anything of it because when slaves escape, that's where a vast majority of the slave population lives, is by the docks.
I see, but they started with the slaves at the docks.
As far as your information, what you were given by your archangel, yes, that's where the beginning of missing people went, were by the docks.
And how long ago did this start?
About 2 months ago. Only the last few weeks, though, have non-slaves been going missing.
Okay.
And not many, but for example, this would be the first case of a child going missing, and I use the term loosely with the pregnant woman being gone.
Is there anything in here that would seem out of place for like a normal citizen to have, or is it all like kosher in here, like nothing crazy?
Yeah, with your guys' investigations, it's pretty kosher. You can't see anything that would be, no, this is very much out of sorts or
All right,
suspicious in any dark way. It's very kosher in here.
all right.
Should we talk to some guards, see if any during the nighttime have been seeing people out at night that shouldn't be? Preferably near the evening.
Right.
That sounds
Is
like
there
a plan.
actually a curfew as per law or not?
There's no literal curfew. I mean, there's a semi, like, the guards do watch and patrol the night, but there's no set curfew.
Okay.
It's just that in general, less people out at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, near evening, suspicious character, maybe.
If I may make a suggestion,
Go ahead.
this started in the docks area, and people with more humble professions tend to be somewhat superstitious. If this had about 2 months of happenings, they would have developed stories by now. Some of those stories might have been mixed with people who actually know things, and we may be able to get a hint.
This doesn't sound like your Twitch voice.
I am fucking thirsty. Leave me alone.
I know how
There
that
we go.
feels. I was dehydrated. My solution: eat more snacks with salt in it.
So the way to fix Samaret is just don't give him water for a while.
Okay, so based off your investigation, say the house looks like it's clean. You have noticed that you can surmise that there has been food taken from this area. You're gathering from the things it was cans or jars of some sort. You can't be positive whether or not this is related, but you do notice that there are cans and jars missing. But to give you fairness, this could either be someone they took jars, or they had given jars to their neighbors because they were neighborlies with jam. Like, I mean, both are realistic.
Hold on, Duratar questioned the neighbors, and so if a neighbor didn't go like, "Oh yes, they gave me a jar of jam this last afternoon."
Yeah, that's something that everybody casually just mentions when you ask if there are suspicious people nearby. Oh yeah, my neighbors gave me jam that one time. Highly suspicious.
I'm literally about to just go back to the neighbors instead of using persuasion, intimidation to get information.
Where is the jam? Where did you hide it?
I need some of that mushed up grape.
Is it
I'm
gooseberry?
very
Is it
irritated.
gooseberry jam?
So if you
And the
had any
strawberries,
contact with this
like
person,
strawberries.
I want to know about it.
But yes, in other words, I'm just giving you other like mundane explanations. Like, not everything has to be a conspiracy, just so you don't go down that
Everything's a
rabbit
conspiracy until proven
but-
otherwise.
He doesn't actually steal the people, he steals their jam.
hole.
He
turns
steals
them
their
into
jars
jam.
and turns them to jam.
Yeah, the twist is, guys, is it's a hag in the city turning people into strawberry jam and just stores them in the cellars.
I'd eat that.
Oh, we're supposed to figure that out in 3 sessions.
God damn it, Heath.
Fucking hell, man.
Go, guys. I
Yes,
guess
we
this
did
is the end of the
crusade for 3
campaign.
sessions.
It's been good.
I mean, you found it out, guys. I mean, you found the missing jam jars. You mean you had it all put together?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Damn it, that's even the final twist of Curse of Strahd. You eventually just realize that Strahd makes really good jam, and that's why Barovia happened.
If we don't have a conspicuous jar of jam on a pedestal that one of our character goes up to and picks up, and then it's a fucking like slime or something in there, and then we start a fight, I'm gonna be disappointed in you, sir.
Okay, I have a thing. You said that people were it was a bunch of slaves over here in the docks.
Well,
most
I mean, that's where the
initially,
majority
2
are,
months
though they have been
where it
all over
started.
the place. Yes.
I was saying that's
The
where it
first-
started.
Started and eventually here.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, it's not like it's been like moving there. It's been literally everywhere. I mean, if you guys want to spend a couple hours to get like every location, I can start marking off locations for you.
Yeah, that actually
Yeah.
seems like a good
Yeah.
idea.
That
Okay.
is genuinely a good thing.
So for
I'm a
locations,
visualist.
I will mark in red X's. These are the locations you know of missing slaves. There was lots in this area.
I'll start making a fucking red equals slave.
You also know there was plenty in the mass slums here.
Yeah.
There's been a few
Hooverville.
around the arena. A couple around this well.
Well.
Yeah,
Hello
the
there.
little well mark here. Like there's a
Wait,
fountain well.
Is red everything just slaves?
Yes.
Well, these are just the missing people. Like these
Uh,
were the slaves. I'll mark the red for slaves. I'll do the light green that I had for the. I'll mark light blue for people that went missing. The people that went missing, and there's far fewer of them, were also in the slums. You had one here down by the by this well area. And you've had one by the docks as well.
Okay, so clearly we have an amateur on our hands.
Should we
No,
check out the
There were a couple slaves also in this area down here as well by the walls.
Like,
But-
he started from the docks and the slums, which are the easiest area to get people from, and he moved up in life, so clearly he was starting safe and then expanding his operations.
Where was the first one?
The first
In
one was by the docks.
Docks.
Should we go check out where the first one went missing? Maybe there's something there. Who knows?
Whilst we're there, we may. Yep, no, hold on. Whilst we're there, we may as well check for some rumors.
And I shall. We should probably, again, just in case, might as well see if any gods noticed a figure in particular wandering
Well, I
around
assume
the
you
room.
don't get on the way.
Wait, what?
We're going to where the first slave went missing and asking guards about what they might have seen whilst on the way.
Yeah.
Fair.
Especially near what looks like hotspots, but hey, in between might as well.
Maybe when he first did it, he might have fucked something up and be there. Find
The
something.
issue is with the
The guard
slaves.
might
I
have-
doubt there was much of an investigation.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, but
I
there's like there's people in the slums and the docks that also got kidnapped. So let's ask about those.
Okay, so we make our way to the docks.
Okay,
Whee!
you guys
Docks.
end up in the docks.
What the hell?
Let's get down to business.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, I love how there's just all of these like high realistic figures, right? And then there's just an anime goblin girl and an anime captain.
Well, it's more versus that the ones that are high realistic are background characters.
So the anime people are the non-background characters.
very
More or
nice.
less, though.
So why do you want to talk to this goblin girl? I don't know, I just got a feeling.
Just got a feeling.
What's going on here? My
It's more than a feeling.
Bam, ba-da, ba.
Sir, can I no longer hold you?
What?
Get of my square.
Sharing the same square. Jesus, that's some character.
Thank you.
So as you guys enter the area, you do see a bunch of people kind of wandering around, sailors moving about their business, gathering things. Up north, you do see a slave ogre and slave goblin loading a large ship.
Do we know who owned this first slave that went missing?
You do. It is a captain known as Captain Mary.
All right. Let's
Okay.
go speak to this Captain Mary. She might.
Yeah.
No. She might know something.
Marry the one-eyed cherry. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Where is?
Take a
I'm
wild
assuming
guess. Who do you think
this-
Captain Mary is?
Yeah.
All the anime people are now
Sure.
accounted
Have you
for.
heard of I found him, guys? It's definitely this guy.
Look at the size of that ship. That's gotta be her.
As you approach
He's got a knife.
the first, you see what looks to be this red-haired woman, kind of looking about with a kind of crop thing and a long trench coat, looking over at her crew, giving orders. It's like, "Oh, with the lot of you, get your stuff up on the ship now. We have to hurry up and get things ready. We want to set sail and get the trade going." And you hear her go, "But for the love of God, Organ, get those barrels up on the ship for the wine. We have to get that ready, this useless ogre." And you just hear a... Droop, make sure you don't drop anything. As you see
Ooh.
this little goblin girl go, yes, Mary. And she just kind of shuffles around, picking up smaller boxes. As you approach Captain Mary, as he coots around with her crew and looks and sees the four of you approach, he goes, "Oh, what the four of you all want here?"
I'm just talking. Can't fucking talk for shit.
Nah,
I would really like hearing Jordan speak.
exactly. I was about to
Some
suggest.
But he's
charisma.
got the lowest.
Jordan has a -2 to charisma. Do you want to
Exactly.
kill Jordan
Yes.
speak?
It's
Uh,
I guess for the sake of blowing up Captain Mary's picture, this is Captain Mary.
okay.
I'm gonna be
Not
honest,
much
that
of a
parrot looks
captain
kinda
with
dead.
both eyes.
What?
I really hate that I have the exact same glass and there is orange in it. Shit.
Jordan is Captain Mary confirmed.
Fuck you.
That's
we are
the end.
here to inquire
for the sake
about
quick-
your slave.
That was the Goblin Girl, Droop.
Droop.
I don't want to give a shit.
And that was Urug, this ogre.
What you guys don't actually know is that as soon as you cast Great Restoration on Ephraim, he just turns into Captain Mary. That's how badly he was tortured.
My twin sister.
Damn, I only have Lester Restoration. It's a shame.
And, yeah.
Oh, anyways,
Okay.
we're here to inquire about your missing slave.
Wait, miss. What? You're talking about, Grug?
Yes.
Mayhaps. We don't know what the slave's name was. We're just informed that you have a missing slave.
Well, if you're talking about Grug, the one that went missing about 2 months ago, the escapee, I always imagined. I reported that quite a while ago. What the hell are you doing back here about this now?
There's been more disappearances, and
Not all of them were slaves.
We're starting to doubt that he was an escapee.
Oh, you think there's something else to it apart from being an escapee, then?
yeah.
Well, I mean... Well, okay, fair enough. I'll tell you what you want to know. What you curious about?
What was he doing on the night of his disappearance? What were his duties?
Grug was just another hand worker like here, Orgrung and Droop over there in Orc, loading ships and stuff. The night he disappeared, though, would have been, oh, let's see here. He was out there, actually, I think it was just out there having dinner and just ran off when I went to sleep. It occasionally happens, though we generally catch most of them. Not sure how he
Wait.
got away so easily.
Wait. Slaves are allowed to have dinner in places where nobody's attending to them.
No, people were attending, but he had his dinner, and then when he was out moving stuff, we figured that with his chains up and stuff, he just kind of disappeared after that.
I'd like to make sure I have insight. I do, so that's just for future reference.
I would like to check if my eyes are working. They are. What the
Must
fuck,
have been the
Michael?
wind.
Okay, Constantine, you got with your nat 20 insight. Yeah, you're aware that some slaves are given a little more autonomy than others. Not every slave is equal. For example, you get to carry around axes and help murder people for your master. So there is a bit of a distance between different types of slave trade treating. Hers is a little lenient, but it's not unheard of.
I was mostly curious to see if she was like unintentionally obscuring anything. Like, I'm not saying that she's like intentionally like, oh ho ho, the magical key he just took that night, but like something that like, you know, oh, we left the briny water somewhere unintentionally or something like that. Like something that could have contributed to a kidnapping or escape that she just didn't feel like it's mentioning because it wasn't worth it.
I mean, you can gather that if she's holding something back,
It's not intentionally.
Yeah, it's a non-intentional holdback. It might be just a detail she's forgetting.
Wait, so
Gotcha.
they let this slave like walk around with his chains sometimes, right, without anybody watching him?
Well, sometimes he goes off to like use the bathroom or something. Yes.
But he still
Okay.
has his chains on, Dia.
Mm,
Yeah, he would have still had his chain collar on.
God damn it! I wish we had a fresher clue so we could like ask people and they would actually remember. Like, imagine somebody
You know,
asking
that's what
somebody.
happens when you ask for the first disappearance.
I know, but like, imagine walking around just ask, "Do you remember 2 months ago the sounds of chains racketing?" And they're like,
This
2 months
is
ago.
a common thing, though. Odds are, when you will have to. This is a thing that happens. You come back a few months and just hope something stuck.
Yeah.
Besides,
well-
there's multiple, so we have a lot of people to ask around for.
You
about
know, you
basically the
could
same
always
details.
ask her, because Constantine's not here and you guys are actual specialists. You could always ask her, you know, exactly where were you unloading the ship? Was it like directly right here? And then we can investigate the area to see like possible routes in which somebody could grab him, break his chain, and go without being sighted, like these alleyways.
They don't have to break his chain theoretically.
They don't have to break the collar around his neck, but they do, because like if he's chained down somewhere, Dio, it's gonna be pretty hard for him to like fucking like get away.
Wait, okay, let's
Not
ask her.
getting the impression that they're.
Was he chained down somewhere, or what? Did he just have chains on his body,
Did
like
they have
around
restraints?
cuffs and stuff?
He had restraints. He wasn't like a dog collared on chains.
Exactly. Wait, when he disappeared, did you just find a bunch of chains on the ground somewhere, or?
Oh, actually, now that you mention it, no, the chains went with him wherever he went. That's why we figure it was a runaway. Sometimes they run away with the chains on them. The stronger ones can sometimes get away with it, but that's why we usually catch them afterwards.
I see.
Bit hard to run around with about 40 or 50 pounds worth of chains on you, depending on the creature.
And this, what was his name?
A grug.
This Grug, was he the kind of person who's strong enough to break chains?
Well, he was an orc, but I don't think he could break a chain. At least not with his bare hands.
Okay. And then
Even Orgrug over there. Sorry.
Yeah, and any tools gone missing that day? Axes, hammers, something?
None of my tools, but I suppose if you ask around, maybe someone missing a hammer.
Okay.
But then
I don't
again, I mean, we're happen to be a bit off of the docks here. Hammers and crowbars and everything about. There's hundreds of them lying around all the times.
That's a safety concern. An OSHA violation.
God fucking damn.
Also, while this is, can I insight like the other slaves to see if they happen to just notice this and seem like they're just trying to make sure they're not speaking up?
Sure, roll me a perception check, because this is less insight. Because they haven't said
No,
anything. There's nothing to insight. This is a
That's
perception thing.
fair. That's fair.
I have it.
Also,
Oh,
natural
damn.
20.
You look at Droop. Droop seems to be kind of avoiding your, trying to avoid being noticed.
All right, no, because I wasn't paying attention to slaves. Which one was Droop?
The small one.
The goblin
goblin.
girl.
Ah, yes, the one I can bully.
For the simpleness of sake, I will put their names visible for you guys to see, so you have organization.
That's a fucking good goblin name.
If you need to bully
Funnily
the
enough,
fucking
Droop's
ogre,
not
just send
my
me a
name.
request.
Droop's actually from the mines of Fendelver.
Pandeleva.
Sounds like a personal
Don't
problem.
bring me down,
Yeah.
Drew.
Oh god, I'm starting to regret being dehydrated and deciding salt is the solution.
Yes, I mean that's usually how death occurs.
Yes, and I am starting to feel it.
Starting to feel death.
I was dehydrated. I ate half a bag of goldfish afterwards.
Goddamn.
Brilliant.
Live goldfish. Jesus.
And we know why he's called the Baka King.
Exactly. I added a V just so I can avoid the Durtar situation of going first.
Yeah. I need to rename myself to Deep-Darter.
The detour.
I will just mention to someone else while I quickly refill my water.
Mm.
That the goblin seems to be knows something.
Okay, well, Constantine is big and scary. Have him intimidate her.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
Well, Everium, you're his master. You literally tell what Constantine is supposed to do. So.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
suggested that, and then Constantine looks at you and kind of gives them like sideways glares. Like, bitch, you don't tell me what to do. He tells me what to do.
Bitch, you give me a sidebar glare, I give you a sidebar glare. What the fuck is a slave doing giving people sidebar glares? Like, what?
I
You don't have to-
I look
Don't
at
look
the
at me in that tone of voice, bitch.
I look at the two morons suggesting to intimidate a slave. I look at the slave captain and I just go, that one might be hiding something. You are aware that if your slaves are concealing things, it may fall on you.
I see. Emeret loses his voice when he's frustrated.
Fuck you! It's hard to do this whilst also thinking about shit.
By the way, Emery, I gotta mention how your character token says your name's Evrim.
Yeah.
I know, it's really confusing.
And your character's name was based off Emmerich. So
Oh yeah, I don't know why he has his token name that, but that's just.
I think it's because it didn't. Hold on.
no, you initially had the character named Evrim, then forgot, and then asked me in the car ride today, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Never mind, I'm Everim again. Fuck all of you. Fuck.
Yeah, because when I made the token, your name was Emerin, and it doesn't update when you change your name.
I just took a random name and was gonna change it later. Yes! Now they match. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
I feel like I didn't miss much.
So you didn't really. So the captain goes, Droop, you got something to say about? Do you know something about these disappearances? And you just see Droop kind of like, I don't know if I know anything, but Grung, when I last saw him, he said he heard something and he said he was going to go check something in the alleyway. When she says that, you just see Mary glaring at the little goblin. You didn't think of telling us that earlier, you shit little goblin! Wait till I get you back to the crates, I'm gonna give you such a whipping!
Take away her socks. Justice for Orguk. He has no socks.
No socks, no rights.
No socks, no rights.
Yeah, since we're in the Harry Potter logic now.
Of course.
What do you mean, Harry
Allie
Potter
did,
logic?
How fuck, I can't say
House elves, man. House
was
elves,
fucking
if you gave them
failing.
clothing, they went free, so when they gave...
Master gives clothing, master set them free.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when they gave him a sock, and he became free because they handed him a sock. Harry Potter, the stupidity of it all.
Which is why the master has given Dobby a Glock is so useless.
Master has given Dobby a Glock. Bang, bang.
He is not free even with a Glock.
So as Constantine asks which alley, she kind of points down one.
No, Constantine didn't really ask. Whenever Constantine signs, he does it to Evrim, because he can't directly talk to these people or
And I
without
thought I said
permission,
it.
so he's just like,
I
hey,
started
yeah.
saying it, and my dad started being really loud.
Okay, he points out which alleyway. She kind of shakily with a hand points down one of the alleyways. I think it was that one.
Did he
Insight
say
check.
exactly what that noise sounded like? Was he
Sure, roll me an
just
insight.
run off?
Okay,
We are great people.
she's terrified. She thinks. I mean, she's not lying to you,
Rightfully
but
so.
I mean, again, like it's been 2 months, right? I mean, she's a goblin. She don't know the alleys that well. Could be that alley. I mean, it's the only lead you got.
I love
Alright.
how the words you're saying should inspire like pity. I feel no such thing.
Not
There
at
is no
all.
pity. If she can't answer questions, she's going in the water.
She's answered every question given. Constantine's just like,
Is
you're
it
doing
good
your job.
God damn it, I wanted her to point me to the killer.
I think we're all gonna go check out the alley, Jay.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Together. We're
Okay.
all in this together. Okay.
So you got
Constantine will look at Evrim and go like, does Orgug have any like startling revelations that he's hiding while we're at it before we move on?
sure. You look over at Orgug, who's kind of just picking up barrels and putting them on the ship. You can roll me a perception check on Orgug.
I have no faith.
Okay, you gather Orgug's probably not the most observant creature on the docks.
I just like to
Um,
say, this guy has a knife.
Yes, so does this guy there, and that guy there. This guy's got a hook. I mean,
I've
these
got
are
a
just
great
the
sword.
background
I know.
tokens.
They're
They're
all,
the
know.
back-
they're all ready for
I'm-
combat. They're all
I'm
initiative.
just
You
saying
know-
it for jokes.
Yeah.
you notice
guys-
you're not surprised.
No Lenny George situation where she's like, don't worry, Georgie. Well, don't worry, Orguggy. When I get out of here, I'll get back by your freedom and give you a whole wabbit.
What?
Of mice and men, but I understand if you don't get it.
No, I don't
I
get it.
haven't
Alleyway
heard mention
time,
in a
let's
while.
go. Woo, alleys.
All circle jerk in an alleyway.
So you guys go head over towards the alleyway. So you go to the alley where you believe where Drew kind of randomly pointed. What are you guys doing here?
Again, I don't know. Just kidding.
Is there anything in this alleyway? Is it literally just two buildings? Is there any windows nearby? Is there any like latches? Is there like a freaking speakeasy door somewhere? That sort of thing.
Look at the alleyway here, looking down it. You do notice a sewer grate. You notice a couple alleys, and you notice a couple buildings. You do see a building with like a side door on it, like a side entrance to a building. It looks to be from a quick glance, you gather it's a general store kind of building.
But are there signs of conflict?
It was 2 weeks. It was 2
It was
months
2
ago.
months
2
ago,
months
dude.
ago, any signs of conflict would be
Are gone.
What do you mean? If there's a cut in the stone, there's a cut in the stone.
And you would have no way to know whether it was 2 months, 3 weeks, 4 months, or whatever. This
And
was.
even then,
Go.
people, there is again, there's also a slight chance of, hey, if a brick got damaged and it's on a shopkeep's door, he might just fucking replace it.
Yeah,
No
after 2
place
months
of brick.
especially.
Can you just go up to a house, see a brick that you don't like, pull it out, and put in a new one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
How do you think they fix walls?
I don't know. I just assumed they use magic.
There
This
are
is called a
constructions.
mending spell. So,
There are
Exactly.
just going. The army of construction workers with access to the mending cantrip. That's how walls are repaired.
You think
I mean-
everywhere's Rapture, where it's just the people building the underwater cities, an entire class?
Yeah.
So we got a sewer grate, a bunch of alleyways, and then what looks like to be a general store.
If you cast mending on Strahd, can you mend his broken heart? Okay.
You're welcome to try. Oh no, wait. Heat, your party is welcome to try.
Fucking damn, Jordan.
Any case, so you guys look at the alleyway. Obviously, any kind of trail you would hope to pick up would be long gone after 2 months.
So yeah, I'm
Okay.
assuming no markings or anything. Like when I say markings, I don't mean like scrapes, but like just actual markings drawn.
Guys, this feels a little bit futile. Do you guys just want to wait till somebody else gets kidnapped so we have a fresh trail?
I mean, you do have a trail that's only a couple days old.
No, I want
mean,
a new one.
I suggested coming here because maybe there might have been something.
Yeah. Here's
We
the
did
thing,
learn-
guys. Yeah, you did learn some stuff, and that's it. You're learning info. Learning info is useful going to the first thing. Looking for a trail, looking for the first
Is
thing
not.
is not
Yeah,
a
no.
good thing.
We know that the fucking first guy that went missing went to go check something weird out in an alley.
He was hearing a
It
strange
sounds
sound.
like he was,
Yeah, he was hearing
lured. He was lured,
lured
from
away.
others. So,
Yeah.
like, what my current thought process is, instead of them breaking in, maybe the fucking people that went missing recently fucking got outside for one
Oh.
reason or another.
Went outside
Yeah,
and
that's
walked
good.
off.
So do you guys want to go ask the people in the first place? Was there any weird sounds that night?
You mean the thing that you basically asked and got a?
I mean, I
Hello,
asked if
what
there were
happened?
suspicious people, and I rolled a 13.
While we're
Maybe they
there-
were just like, nah.
While we're on our way, we should also see if we can investigate. Like, there's an entire string of in between here and that previous house. I noticed on the map there's like a literal like circle of red X's and then a civilian X. We can investigate that area as
in
well.
the slums.
The song.
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah,
yeah,
how long
because
do
we
we
have
have
to
to
get through
slums one?
slums anyway. So
At
Might
one
as well
point,
look
I'd
at-
like to question
get
the
more
guard
info.
to see if there's just like been a dumping every now and then of just like broken or unlocked slave chains. Just roughly in this area.
yeah, but if someone led them into this alleyway, they would have had to escape through the sewers. So we should also keep that in mind. They either went into the general store, they continued in the alleyways, or they went into the sewers, or they flew. But I think the first three options are clearly
I
what we
mean,
need to
if
go
somebody flew, the guards would have noticed, most likely.
with. Exactly. Well, it was the middle of the night.
debatable. It was evening.
I mean, it was evening, but wait, how many guards are just humans? How many are elves?
I mean, you got a mixture.
Okay, so guards do have dark vision sometimes.
And also
But
only 60
to be
feet
fair,
of it.
Darkfish is only 60 feet, which
Exactly.
you would use a flight spell, meaning
Nothing.
you would be out of their range within
True.
within 6 seconds.
True.
That's
That,
so,
and how often are you
it's-
actively looking up?
Yeah, and that's
Uh,
also like looking up in the sky for that when it happens. And
We should
I mean,
ask.
it's the
like,
vibe, though,
pretty
that if it
big.
happened at night, when things fly at night, you can be invisible pretty quick if you fly up high enough.
Honestly, the only
Yeah.
thing like is if he was still wrapped in chains, you'll probably just hear them jiggling.
But the other thing to occur, this is a city. There isn't pitch black nights. There are city street light lamps and stuff.
Mhm.
It's never pitch black in the city at night.
yeah.
Then
Yeah.
again, that also makes it more blinding because there was a fucking thing like you just
And
get
we're-
so focused on the light.
I mean, I'm leaning more towards dimensional door than anything else, but yeah.
Or
Not
or
even
no
that-
matter.
There's a sewer right
Yeah,
there! What the
there's
fuck do
a
you mean
sewer.
dimension door?
But why would he use the sewer in the
Because
wait,
you
is that
know how often people look into sewers actively?
Yeah, how many times do you just go into your city's sewer system,
Yeah,
Derek?
but
the
where's
only
the
times
sewer?
you're
Where's the sewer in
Especially
the other
since this
places?
isn't a place that would like kobolds, I don't believe.
Yeah, but there isn't. This isn't just one place. It's everywhere in random spots.
And we can go and check if there was a fucking
Probably
sewer
sewers
break really.
everywhere.
There's sewers everywhere.
Truly,
Well,
guys,
that's-
every alleyway has a sewer system. That's what sewer systems are for.
Okay. So let's go to place to place.
That is a
and
part
check the
of
sewers.
infrastructure. Sewers is for disposal of a lot of shit.
Literally.
Let's go and check for sewers.
If there's people
No.
don't start
Yeah.
shitting when people don't stop shitting when there's no sewers.
We're gonna go to the slums, not because there's sewers, but also just because if there's any more information, we learned that they got led away by sounds through Droop's thing.
I don't know, but I'm checking for sewers everywhere I go.
Yeah. I will pull some guards inside every now and then just to see if they happen to find any like broken slave chains or unlocked, disposed of.
Okay, so you guys head over towards the slum area this time.
How long ago was the civilian disappearance in the slum area?
You would gather from talking to the guards and stuff, the civilian was probably about a month ago in the slums. He was actually the first civilian to go missing.
Ah, so the one at the docks that we were just at is a little more recent. Got it.
Yeah, he was about 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Before we actually enter the slums, can I stop the party for a little bit?
Sure.
With your strength?
As in gesture for everyone
I
to stop.
know.
If I wanted to stop you, I would be using Constantine.
And even then, we have the same strength score, so it's a debate whether or not we fucking.
I can give him a lot of buffs.
I can roll high when I want to.
Yeah, you're betting Baka's luck against Terek's luck, Jordan.
I like these odds.
I've been rolling hot. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I've been rolling 20.
I think
So
Eric
is Constantine.
I think Eric's luck only applies when he's playing female inquisitors.
Yeah.
In any case, so you guys are getting towards the slums, and you stop the party for a chat.
If I may make a suggestion, we look like the most obvious group of assholes to have ever investigated anything. On the other hand, if we just send him in for about an hour, we may be able to get some rumors out of it. I am now switching this voice because fuck the other one.
Who did you refer to when you said him?
Constantine.
Fucking, you want Constantine in on us? No, he'll of course say yes.
I don't want you to investigate anything, Constantine. I want you to loiter around and check for rumors, things people have heard, the strange happenings. Gossip, Constantine, gossip.
You know, I never thought about it.
Constantine, have you heard of it?
I'll do my best.
Okay, and we wait outside of the slums for about an hour, giving Constantine some time.
You know, it never occurred to me that Constantine could just go missing right now.
Yes, I was entirely thinking this. A lone slave! Off.
He owes Everem two things. He owes Everem, of course, because Everem owes him, but he also owes Everem for saving his life. So Constantine's still pretty loyal to Everem. If Everem dies, by the way, Constantine will find a way to fucking escape. But until then,
Yeah,
he's like,
I will help
So by
with
the
this
end of
escape
this,
to the
by
afterlife.
the end of this short game, Constantine will escape because Everett's pretty much the first to die.
You might not be
Either
going.
he escapes or I execute him. One of the things.
Yeah.
are going to
You
happen.
might not be going of your own free will. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a charm person kind of thing,
Yeah.
or
if it
just
was,
illusion.
then it would be over as soon as the master was dead. But in any case, so Constantine, you go into the slums to try to look for rumors.
Never heard from again.
Roll me
A deck saving throw.
either persuasion or investigation, your pick.
not insight or perception.
No, you're talking to people. You're looking for rumors. That's not something
Not
you...
intimidation.
I mean, you could try with intimidation, but you're going to get some very odd things.
Okay, fine. I'll try persuade. He told me not to investigate anything, so I must try persuasion.
His job was to listen.
Oh, damn.
-1, baby, 17.
Yeah, I was about
You
to
know
say, if
what?
you intimidate... I can't imagine how Constantine goes around trying to intimidate talking to fucking
Especially
citizens
as
in
a
this world.
slave.
Have you heard his
As a
voice?
lone slave,
He is a
he'll be
six-
fucking
He is a
Imagine
6'5"
A
orc.
slave on his own intimidating people for information and not getting shit about it.
Like, ever gets called back to the fucking Archangel, like, Evrim, I told you to watch after the orc. Why is he taking up people and slamming them into buildings, saying, tell me what you know, bitch? Okay, Constantine, with a 17 persuasion, yeah, you hear some various rumors and stuff. Lots of slaves have been going missing of late in the slums. By the way, 1x does not equal one person necessarily. That's just
It's just
groups.
hotspot.
Like sometimes
Okay.
several have gone missing at once. You have known that there have been groups of slaves going missing in the slums occasionally. Sometimes 2 or 3. You hear the rumors that generally, yeah, you gather from the other slaves that it seems like families of slaves have disappeared sometimes. Sometimes it's an individual. Almost all the slaves, though, have been from the groups in the same house, right? The same area, right? You don't get many, like... When they go missing, it's not like you get 3 slaves from 3 different owned families, sort of thing. In the slums, slaves are a little more free as well, though. Like, you know, most slum people don't own slaves as much as, like, you know, the slaves that... A lot of the slum slaves are put like this. You have a high-class lord who owns a bunch of slaves. They don't like that slave being in their house, so they shove them in the slums until they need them. They're closer to indentured servants in that way.
Okay.
But
And
you do have
specifically households or groups, like people who'd be in a small area and close together, would be taken. Like, is there a poor schmuck who's like, you know, his one house hasn't been hit yet the 5 houses next to him are fucking empty?
no, it seems to be pretty
I was getting
scattered.
more the
They don't-
impression of,
Okay.
like, again with the family thing, like everyone living in that house gone.
Yeah, generally. There have been a couple cases where an individual went missing, but the people of the house remained. But it does seem like when there are groups missing, it's all from the same house.
Okay. Now, is there any rumors as to what's causing it? We have superstitious people. Can I have some funny haha rumors?
I like how you like superstitious people in a place with magic. Is it superstition when there's when it's not?
It is when we. If anything, I'd say that amplifies it because you know the things. It'll actually.
The Dark Wizard Emeritus is
We
once
know
again
we know magic exists, but that doesn't mean people can't make up outlandish
The
things.
witch gods about to come last.
So your rumors you
Boogliega.
hear consisting of insanity, for the case of extravagant rumors, is you are hearing that some people believe that because it's the monster race is being freed, that perhaps Grungun has revived from the dead and has come down to take his chosen away.
What the fuck is a Grungun?
One of the gods, don't worry about it.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
it's one of the orc
heresy to me.
gods. Some believe that there are you hear crazy rumors of like sexualized nymphs coming in and taking them away into the Feywild for sexual pleasures.
They saw a pregnant lady, so that'd be awkward. Next.
I don't know, man. There's a fetish for that. I bet.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Look, this is what you're hearing the rumors in the slums, okay? Not in the
Oh,
air.
of course.
You also hear about people. You hear about some strange barber who's had a really interesting place and is making really nice pies lately.
Oh god, the jam. Not the jam.
It's my granny's recipe.
Okay. I'll bring. I'll
The
thank them all for
secret
their time.
ingredient is slavery.
And head back to Evrim. And because Eric can't talk in that voice for long, Constantine will relay that information.
Well done. Now we may proceed.
We go to the houses.
As we walk into the slums, there's one like fellow slave who like misinterpreted his relationship with Constantine. He's just like, "Yo, hey, half orc bud, you're back!" Woo! Goes for a high five, then sees the rest of the party. It's like, "I'll catch you later."
Just teased me.
Into the
Like
alleyway.
literally, fucking. I'm about to breathe fire if you continue with this fucking attitude.
Just fucking like fades back into the shadows.
You just see
You
a
either
half-orc woman running up to
Back
Constantine
off
to
or
give
turn
her
into ash.
you see what happens is you see a woman run up to Constantine to give her her number, but then sees the rest of them and quickly backs off, and Constantine loses a date.
Aw.
Like he had a chance in the first place.
I mean, how do you think you get new slaves?
True.
Yeah, you gotta breed them
I don't
somehow.
know.
You have a degree of autonomy even if you're a slave. It doesn't mean you have a person breathing down your
They
neck
don't
24/7.
micromanage everything you do. You don't.
Yeah.
You're not
Like,
worth that much.
I just told you this fucking district was pretty much designed for slaves.
I was
who
making a joke.
When I was talking to Constantine, like the purpose of the slaves, like this is the area where where slaves have the most autonomy. Like in the entire
Oh,
city,
True.
this is where they have by
I was
far the most
making a
autonomy.
joke.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Jay, you're good too.
Okay,
So,
but I'm checking for sewers along the way.
Fucking
You see
idiot.
them literally every other fucking street, as that's how a sewer system works.
Some of them
God
even use.
Damn it. They're
Others are
everywhere.
on the walls.
You see a hallucination of a clown in one of the wells, and then you're kind of weirded out for a second. He's got a little
Hiya,
boat.
Georgie.
Imagine
Also
if
really
it is
important in
actually
a
what's
wolf-
been causing the problems.
Yeah, it's also important that you are in a walled city that when it rains, it's probably a good idea to have drainage sewage systems for the rain so you don't like have like giant flooding.
I mean, drainage is different from a sewer in which
Not-
orc can fit through.
Not entirely.
It's the same system.
Because,
Yeah,
again,
but
like,
an entire
also,
orc.
no. There's like places for drainage, and then there's in order to make sure you can fix the collapse, there's going to be places where people can enter.
Yeah,
There's not
exactly.
a ton of sewer head. Like I said, when I say sewer, I'm not saying like a ton of manhole
Entrances,
cover.
maybe not, but
Yeah,
places to dump.
There's
the
not a
shit,
ton of entrances, but there's plenty of sewage entrances where people can dump their literal shit down it after they empty their buckets.
Yeah, but like, how many of those can fit an entire orc down their hole?
I never said the one you saw in the other alleyway could fit in it. You're just coming to that weird conclusion on your own.
Ah, so I've been misled by my party. It is dimension door. Fuck you.
One
I
can
just said there was a
dismember.
sewer system. I never said it was a massive hole cover.
Joel, one can dismember a corpse or do other weird and abstract things with them
or
to get them
cast
down
reduce.
I
or
mean,
cast reduce, or a slime creature could literally dissolve it. Hell, I know of a rumor of one guy sticking his head down a sewer pipe and finding the most magnificent of bedrolls. The bedroll 9000, he called it.
well, that's good for him. What does that have to do with our current scenario?
You find weird stuff down sewers,
Okay.
and it's always good to check.
Okay, so you guys are now within. So you guys are into the slums, and you want to just check the houses that have been hit.
In particular.
We'd like to check the citizen houses that have been hit first, for that is what we care about.
Yeah.
I mean, that is entirely true. Like,
Okay, so you
You
go to the
can't.
house.
That's exactly that.
So you go to the house where the citizen went missing a month ago. This is nowhere near as nice as the previous house you guys went to. This place is disheveled. And it does look like the door has been smashed. Things have been taken. It looks in ruins.
I'm having a feeling this is literally just crime.
I was gonna say, I don't think this is
Probably
related to the
fact-
disappearance.
Probably the fact there's been a month with an abandoned house in the slums. Probably you are correct.
I'm not surprised in the least.
People looting abandoned houses and slums can't be true.
That's against the law.
That is against the law. All of these people are criminals. We should burn this place down.
Unless
No
that was
abiding
government
citizen
property.
would break the law.
I see. I have to agree with this. We need to burn this entire slum down.
I have fireball, so that is possible.
The only nuking that would be done is to fucking Yanti continent to the south.
Sir, we were told not to burn everything down.
Were we? I didn't hear that.
Literally one of your first fucking things he said.
Yeah.
I only heard you're allowed to use whatever measures necessary.
Exact opposite.
We're authorized necessary force.
Exactly.
Any means necessary. Underline necessary, highlight it, and then put quotation marks.
Yes, but these people are criminals. That is necessary force.
For our investigation, no, that will just be destroying proof. Fire is a good way to destroy
We're
evidence.
literally blowing up an empty building.
We don't know if it's empty yet.
I understand.
I see a rock there. Just kidding.
So the problem is. So
if
the
you find
problem.
the thieves dead, then fucking blow that up.
So the problem is. So the problem is that it's an empty building. I see. We should put some people inside first.
So we'd talk to the resident citizens.
And this is
see-
why I suggested the Horde campaign after this.
Yeah.
We are neither good people or people with morals.
Does anyone have the slight suspicion that we will be charged to figure out the mysterious charcoalization of slaves after this investigation, and that investigation will be remarkably quick? As I look at Joel,
I have no fire. Sadly.
Go to with the justice. Anyway,
I-
shall we talk to neighbors, see if they noticed anything, unlike the recent one?
That sounds like a good idea.
It's well then. We'll go to the nearby houses to see if there's any people that were around a month ago that might remember something.
Okay. You
Be
go
it
by.
the people like doing strange things as of the second, or them just leaving the house recently, or whatever.
Yeah. So roll me investigation.
A what?
Investigation.
Man.
Investigation.
Guidance.
Alright. Natural 20.
Boy, I can't wait for you
That
guys
is
to get
all you rolled.
Plus 4.
I can't wait for I can't wait for combat to start and Baka to just go 7, 8, 4, 6.
Yeah.
No,
And
he's on
still
a
hit.
crusade right now. It's still gonna carry over.
Okay, so you investigate with the 28. You go into it and you discover a lot. I'll give you again. You know, with your investigation, you do know that all the disappearances have been happening in the evening, evening or night. You discover, as far as you are aware, no one forced entry during the time. Nobody saw anything. Most of this happened when people were asleep. Though you do gather that one person said he saw someone kind of disappear down an alley and then wasn't seen again. But this is a slum, so literally everywhere is an alley.
Did he hear
And no
anything
strange
weird?
noises.
They said they did not hear any noises, no.
So it might be something only heard by those they're trying to kidnap. Or
But
make
no, then
disappear.
Droop. Oh wait, no. Droop told us that he told us all.
Mhm. I just like to say, every point I make is done with proficiency.
Yeah, it would be an indication that based off what you heard of Droop, if there are noises being heard, it seems to be only targeting those that are wandering off.
Yeah.
No idea. They're using phantasmal force to lure them in.
Phantasmal Force is a touch spell.
Is it?
They're using illusion magic to lure them into a dimension Dorf theory solves.
1 second, I'm about to have a crisis. Is this truth?
Oh god.
Because it's about to make one of my favorite spells, not my favorite spells.
Let's let Baka have this crisis.
Yeah, let's just wait. Let's just wait this out.
Yeah. Baka's having a crisis. Y'all can continue.
Yep, it was touch, yeah. I ran a point.
No, it's not. It's up to 60 feet.
Really?
10-foot cube.
What spell am I thinking of? It's a third level one. Anyway, keep going.
This is it's second level.
I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
that's
I need to
before
go to
the
the bathroom
second
real quick.
I was having a crisis for nothing. There's a reason why I apparently hate the slave races.
They lie about the arcana you're not allowed to have.
They lie to me about the sacred texts.
So you guys look about. So that's what you gather in the slums right now.
Alright.
General information I'm pretty sure we would have is like what tends to be the spacing between the kidnappings.
Usually the kidnappings with the frequency, you've seen that is centered. Well, the disappearances or kidnappings, whichever you want to say they are.
Kidnappings.
Presumed kidnappings, but disappearances have been occurring within anywhere between few days to a week apart.
Alright, so we're entering the area where another kidnapping will happen.
I mean,
Because
it could
the last
take
one was
as
like
many
3
as many-
days.
Yeah, but I said up to a week apart.
Yeah, so we're entering the time frame where it could start.
I mean, technically, your time frame is a few days. It could happen tomorrow,
Exactly.
yes. Could happen 4 days from
Exactly.
now.
Exactly, but it's good information to have.
Can we cross-reference
On
the
our
kidnappings and see if any of the kidnappings in the slums are still happening? Like in the same evening, do we lose people in the slums and the docks, or just one from each area? You know what I mean?
Well, so, no, each day is its own area. Like, you don't get multiple kidnappings in a day unless it's all from the same household, as I said.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
so
it's,
one kidnapping per day, and so it could be from anywhere of these 3 regions, or is it like for the
It's
first like?
sporadic. It just seems to be focused on these areas.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I understand. I'm asking if like, is there a pattern where like the first, like, you know, it for a week the kidnappers take, you know, their sandwiches with them and go to the slums, and they're like, yeah, let's go back to the dock. I feel kind of nostalgic. Let's have like
does
4 or 5
seem
days.
a little bit randomized in that sense. There doesn't seem any kind of noticeable pattern. Like, it's not like their movies like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's
right?
exactly
It's just
what I was asking for. You're
Yeah,
awesome.
no.
Thank you.
I have a plan for whenever I do something that requires sporadic action. It's literally to make my character blindfold himself, get a dart, and literally spin around and throw. And that will decide what he
you
does.
do get a 1, 2. You don't. There is no set system. Sometimes it's 2 here. Sometimes it's 1 there. Sometimes it's 3 here.
Okay.
Wait,
It
wait.
does.
When it
Mhm.
started at the docks, did the first couple of kidnappings happen at the docks, or was it just first kidnapping docks and then the next one was random?
First couple were dogs.
Okay, so it did start at the docks.
Interesting. Hmm.
You know, what was the most recent one that happened in the slums?
The most recent kidnapping in the slums would have been about a week ago.
Okay. I don't think there's anything that would be back from a week ago if we checked like the nearest sewer entrance, or if we checked like across their house, because it's the slums. It's very populated. Yeah, I think other than if you guys have any ideas, the next best bet would be going back to the main house and see how they got out. Because they were lured out by some kind of sound, and the sound has always been playing towards alleyways. So investigating the nearby alleyways for, like, you know, signs of, like, cloth from a baby's blanket or some shit like that would probably be a smart idea.
And also, because I was trying to do this, did I ever get an answer to whether or not slave chains have been disposed of frequently in any spot near them?
I mean, no one has noticing slave chains just lying around. No.
All
You
right.
figure if they are freeing slaves, they probably just didn't leave the chains lying about.
Oh, I doubt it was freeing, but chains can get annoying to sneak around with.
Yeah.
If you're doing something less than legal, odds are you don't want moving chains. So, well, it was a thought.
Yeah. But
I mean-
you figure they dispose of them without just lying the evidence around. But yeah.
My interest is, were the people who have been kidnapped like satisfied with their life, or were they the kind of people who wanted out?
Ah, you see, that's a good question to ask. They tend to be people. Roll me another persuasion check. Just get general information from the people.
Okay.
Can I give him an advantage?
No, this will be an individual check. You can roll your own though.
Okay.
That's a
I should-
21.
Oh, damn.
That's a 4.
One
Darwin!
of you's not like the other.
Darwin, despite your Azamar-like thing, people just think you're a cock and just ignore you.
Oh no!
Like,
I
that
built him
Constantine
like that. He has a
fellow with you, though, he's
-1 to
pretty
charisma.
Yeah, Joel, on the other hand, talking about people, you can only obviously ask about the people you're around. You have to go to separate areas for each individual place. But around here, the guy who went missing, I mean, apart from obviously being in the slums, was not very happy with his life. But you get around to talk to people. He did seem to be someone who kind of wanted to get out of the area.
I see. So we should ask in the other areas as well then. Do we want to go do that
Mind
now, or
you-
do you guys have something else in planned in the slums still? Guys?
Oh, that is a good question. Let's follow that.
I'm so glad I made sure my intelligence wasn't my higher stat, so I don't have to expect a lot of ideas from me.
Constantine
Above
does
average,
remark that
but
a lot
not-
of slaves are not okay, or not happy with this.
Yeah, no,
situation.
we're in literally the area that would build people not content with their lives. Like this is the poor people's
I
districts in
understand,
general.
but I understand, but still, let's ask just in case.
Well, the thing is like with that precedent, there was a family with a baby on the way, and they were not happy. Like, you know, that is such a strange concept.
What do you
I
mean?
can
There are-
understand it fully. A poor family with another mouth to feed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
they might
you
want to
were
leave.
told they weren't a poor family, though. They have business dealings in the
Mhm.
central temple and stuff.
They have
Those
a food storage place.
Still,
Yeah.
it's what a
were-
fast. Maybe they wanted more from life.
Yeah.
It may be a recent change in behavior. It started off with people who would hardly be missing, and as time grew on, they become more and more bold.
Well,
We
certainly
should- we
possible
should-
since it went from slaves to starting getting actual citizens,
Citizens,
more
yeah.
recently.
I mean, that was my original idea. Like, okay. So yeah, that train of thought, following it, yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So back to the original area we go. Woo.
Yep.
So you
So-
head back down to the family house.
So let's do a quick recap. Sorry, not
Holy crap.
recap.
Where are
of
the
what happened.
sewers when you need
That
them?
may not be inaccurate. Where's the sewer? Just kidding.
It started in the docks, and at the docks we learned that people were kind of hearing weird noises in alleyways and
No,
disappearing.
we learned that one specific person heard a noise. It might not be the same kind type of kidnapping for everyone. Let's keep that in mind.
Well, then anything could have happened, but
We have to have
Yeah.
a theory to work on.
I'm
Keep an
just
open
saying,
mind, but we have to have a theory if we're going to.
my theory is still dimension door.
Well, there's a reason why we don't follow every opinion of yours. Anyways,
Dimensional
So-
only get them out of the city. Anyway, secondly, it's the fact that usually only hits like either outsiders or selective people, or like a people in like a house that live closely together. Like, you know, if these people cannot practice social distancing at all times, then they're probably going to get grouped up and taken. Very rarely has it ever hit in like more than like a household or something.
So it targets a small group, is what you're saying. It targets a small area.
Yes, it
Yeah.
targets a very intimate area.
I mean, considering the way it says it targets specifically one group of people that know each other very well. Like, it never just went, yes, Steve from here, Bob from here. It's always just the entire family of Steve. Or
whenever
just
they do a
Steve.
grab, they do.
Well,
they-
Well,
they
well,
do.
yes,
There's
when-
been cases of like it would be a family in a house, and only like one member was taken. There has been
Yeah,
cases.
that's what I'm saying. It's either the entirety of Steve's family or just Steve. It's never Steve and Bob from next doors.
Hey Heat, can I confirm something? When there was like one person taken, was the house like slightly bigger and quote unquote better sound insulated? As in, could this be
Oh,
like
yeah,
a vocal thing?
You do notice. Okay, well, roll me. We'll just say roll me another investigation just for that info for the.
I don't suppose I could assist in this one or not.
No, I'll just let him roll for this one.
I don't
Okay.
suppose I could guidance myself.
Oh,
well, you're checking the insulation of someone's house. You can't really do that, like unless you stab a knife in their wall.
with this, you're. I think 12's not bad. I mean, you look at it, you're like, the houses don't look particularly larger. Again, with the slums, soundproofing's not really a thing.
Matter of fact, it's
Right?
more accurate to have a hole in the wall than insulating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're probably not.
Yeah, but
probably why the individual people were taken. It didn't seem to be about a sound thing, as far as you can tell. Though the one
Okay.
thing you do know, they were in separate rooms. Nobody saw them leave. Now, unfortunately, you have no way of knowing whether the groups left together in separate rooms or not. But you do know nobody ever saw someone leave.
Wait. If families like if somebody leaves from a family straight up, we need to find a family because, like, surely, unless they're specifically targeting the person closest to the fucking front door, surely they would fucking notice, like, open windows or something at the end.
Or at the very least, they'd be more intimately knowledgeable of their recent behavior.
Yeah.
Seems like a good enough action, Zenny.
Okay, so what are you particularly asking the family members that, or households or family members that weren't had individuals taken but not full groups?
On the night of the disappearance, was there anything abnormal about the room that they vanished in? For instance, open window.
I would say they do not notice anything in particularly off. The doors were open and then doors were closed, windows were closed.
There wasn't any, like if there's a window high up, then there wasn't anything like moving stuff from the countertop so they can step properly.
Nope. You gather from what you can gather from what you hear. Everybody who left probably just left through the front door.
Like
closed behind them. Like that's the best information gathered. Nothing was out of the ordinary. It looks like someone just left the house and closed the door behind them. Is what you gather from everybody's description.
God,
Also
this
like
really
ask
looks
about-
like a fucking vampire just looking at the window, going, "Charm person, charm person, charm person. Everyone, let's get out of here."
Yeah.
Yes, I've said this. But anyways,
Definitely.
change in behavior as of recent.
Yes.
Like the big obvious. Like, was there a change in behavior? Talk to people that he doesn't normally talk to.
No one seems. Nobody seemed to have any change in their behavior before the disappearance.
Before she left, did Karen stop putting out?
Wow. Before she left, did Karen ask for the manager?
I don't know how to respond to such a question. No, but yeah,
Karen?
I think he's just picking a random name.
Yeah. Wait, the sewage systems. How many exits out of the city are there in the sewage systems?
How many entrances?
Exits out of the city in the sewage system.
Well, technically, dozens because that's where sewage drain.
It's a very big city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah, but
Lots.
is it feasible? Is it feasible that if we ask the guards, they could position a guard at every single sewage exit?
I mean, to be fair, they generally do that for the exact reason you're saying. Because, like they said, escaped slaves, not something new. Generally, the sewage systems are watched by a few guards because they're not just a way out, they're also a bad way in.
Yeah, so we should go ask those guards if they saw anything, because that would determine if the people left or are they still in the city. Well, at least via sewage.
Yep.
If Dimension Door didn't happen, yes, of course.
I'm debating the whether or not we should try and see if we can find just attempted things labeled as attempted escapes that might have just been disappearances that didn't work out because they got caught or some shit like that.
I believe those would have been rolled out of our.
Yeah, anything where
Initial
there was
report.
there have been attempted escapes during this whole fucking time and they have been caught, right? There may have been some of these missing people may have been successful escapes too, as a possibility. You don't know. There's just
No,
It's
I
within
mean
2
like
months.
the opposite. Like would have been a disappearance, but for one reason or another, like say it's a slave and somebody knows and caught them before they actually disappeared.
Okay, but if that's the going theory, then we still need to ask the people, like, were the people, the actual people, not the slaves, were the people actually satisfied or did they want to leave? Like, we still haven't gotten around to asking people that.
So, ask the family again the general question just to confirm this theory that hey, want a better life.
okay. So you for the sake of quick simplicity, out of the 4 people that 4 citizen families that have gone, groups of families or individual citizens that have gone missing, you do know that these 3 usually were ill-content. They were never really happy with their lives.
Which one wasn't in contempt?
The
most recent
kidnapping.
The
They were
most-
content. They were asking their neighbors. They seemed to be very excited about their new child.
Life was looking good.
I mean, as you were told before, you could also go to the temple to talk to their doctor, for lack of a better term, or the priestess that was taking care of her. You were also told that the husband and the wife also had friends at the Dwarven Ales, and had dealings with the smith because he helped with the two smiths in the city. That was part of his job. He sold ore. He was a low-class merchant selling ore.
I mean, it is possible that they too were quote-unquote not content, but it wasn't visible for us.
So we should
Is
go
there-
ask the Dwarven Ale people that were their friends.
Either that or because there are things that can quote-unquote make you really uncomfortable with your life really quickly. For instance, having a tiefling baby, for instance.
Oh god, the amount of heresy.
That would make you very uncomfortable with your position really quickly, so
Yeah.
let's actually work on that, because we currently have 4 citizens missing, 3 of which were not content, and 1 of which was really happy. That seems like an outlier.
Yep.
Do we go to the temple, or do we go to the Dwarven Ale, or do we go to the Smiths first?
Let's go to the temple, because that seems like a real quick conversation.
Okay. You guys head over to the temple.
Was the baby a tiefling? Answer in 5 questions in 5 seconds.
Or maybe just simply put it, the baby that they were excited to have maybe had signs of it wouldn't be an easy carriage.
You head to the temple where you see the head priest of Prelon. Basically having people there. There's a good picture of him in his white robes and staff, looking over at the party
Look at that
approach.
beard.
Nope.
I don't think Constantine's allowed in these temples because dark race.
You're allowed in.
Okay, good.
You're allowed,
Yeah.
and I'm keeping you on a short leash.
Yeah, they're
You let me go flirt for an hour. You gotta reel it
you are
back
a
in.
dark race, but you're still also like, if slaves weren't allowed in these temples, a lot of jobs wouldn't get done. Because guess who's the Dunnikin boys in this country?
Yeah.
So you guys enter the temple where Prelon looks over as you see the priest, which many of you have talked to before. I mean, there's many temples in the city, obviously, not just this one. But most of you, considering your jobs, have met a fair amount of the priests. It was, oh, I see. No. Oh, Evrim, and you are here. May I ask what brings you to my temple?
We would... we have some questions regarding a certain citizen that has recently disappeared. I described the citizen in question.
Okay, because I forgot to tell you, the citizens are Edward and Amelia.
I love Amelia.
I will shoot you in the face.
Hey, what's
Okay.
that family name, Heath?
The family name?
Mm-hmm.
Widogast.
For the sake of fake that I forgot to give them one, we will call them, the family name is Orr. Because
Orr?
he's an ore merchant, yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Orr, got it. One or the other. Fucking hell.
No, it's not one or the other, it's both.
They were also human, as far as other information that you may or may wish to know. They were both humans.
Yeah, they were citizens.
Yeah,
So-
they're citizens
Yeah,
or
well,
drag-
I'm technically a
Listen-
citizen.
Anyone
And I'm
who's
also
not
a
a
citizen.
monster race is a citizen, right? Orcs, or like elves, dwarves, humans, dragonborns, they're all citizens.
Yeah.
Truly. I'm joking. Let's
Yeah.
Not
continue.
truly the Imperial.
Man, sitting here while there's only one human in the party and one's a half elf, one's a Aasimar, and one's a dragonborn.
Wait, who's the half elf?
I thought you were half elf. I
No, I'm an
apologize.
elf.
Ah,
I am a high elf.
Joel. Hi.
I am stoned.
The entire party is made up of various races. So
Yeah.
None of them human. It's amazing.
never
No.
is.
Howdy.
Never
Howdy.
You're crippled. There's a difference.
okay then, Baka.
And at that prayer, as
No
Helm
knees, no
strikes
rights. I've
Baka
said this before.
down,
I'll say it again.
Prelon looks over and goes, "Oh, yes, the young couple that were having their child soon. What about them?"
Could we talk to their nursemaid or something?
Oh.
We would like to check for discrepancies.
Very good. Miss Esmire, the Inquisitors are here. As you watch, as you see this high elf lady come around the corner. Yes, Prelon, of course. For the sake of quick description.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yes, yes. Well, internally, blood for the blood god.
Calls for the skull throne.
Milk for my cornflakes.
May I help all of you?
No, you may help one of us.
I turned to Joel looking confused.
Everyone looks at Joel.
We all look at him like, what?
Were you
Did you
trying
have
to
a
hit him?
baby inside your tummy? What's going on?
You see, I am the pregnant.
Joe, would you like to look outside just in case somebody seems to be listening in?
No, I'm good, thank you.
That aside,
Look at Asmar, who's starting to look very uncomfortable.
we would. I can't take this seriously anymore.
I can't tell if this is in character or out of character.
Constantine killed that one.
Roll initiative.
I'll mute myself while I'm laughing, don't worry.
So you look over, Asmar looks over at the lot of you, goes, so how can I assist you?
I'm sorry, I was waiting for a weird quip.
Yes, okay. Are you sure you're all Inquisitors? He's just looking over at Prelon. He just gives a very old man shrug of like, last I checked.
I apologize. The High Elf seems to have found some weird brew and has been imbibing apparently without my noticing.
It's in the name, my guy, it's in the name.
Yes, we would like to inquire about a certain Madam or a Mr. or Mrs. How does English work? That's Jordan being autistic.
Mrs. Ora.
Mrs. Or is the female.
No. You just ask. We would like to inquire about a Madam or what?
As we go into who's on first all of a sudden in D&D.
I apologize. That was my lack of English skill showing. That wasn't in character.
Or what?
But yes, I asked her about the family. I asked about any irregularities, any like in the last, for instance, week, whether they were more reluctant to come here, or like essentially things like that.
Had they confide in them anything?
Yes.
Okay, so first thing you guys know, there's no like D&D ultrasounds, so you don't know what a baby is till it pops out. First off, Just so you guys know, just for the purposes of this is what your characters be aware of,
Can't truly be aware until it pops out. That's fair.
right?
Yep.
So if giving your theory of tiefling
mean
baby, nobody.
Wait, you mean they can't divinity shit to just see inside the womb?
Nope. There are no X-ray goggles.
I like to
You do-
scry on the baby.
Yeah. So, boy, is it dark in here. But yeah, so just so you know, nobody knows what they're there is no preordained with it. But she goes, well, she was supposed to give birth rather soon. Actually, she might be past due. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't seen her. It should be any day now.
God damn it, the theory is more and more likely by the second.
Okay, so there is no D&D ultrasound, but
So
have
it
to
looked like
Google
it was
it.
going to be from. There should be no reason for a bad baby birth. It looked healthy. It should have done a few days ago. No
Can you not use,
confided information.
Can you not use like clairvoyance or divination or whatever it's called to look inside of the stomach?
We've been over this.
Can
It
you
looks
not-
pretty
can you
dark
not-
in here.
can you not use augury to check things like that, actually?
Augury
Well, I
in
mean,
the next
you-
30 minutes,
You can use augury in the next 30 minutes. Yeah.
and it's for a decision.
Should we keep the baby? Also, guys, you gotta remember, they don't just blow high-level spells for every fucking pregnant woman in the city. If they did, they never have any
for this
spells.
district.
Yeah, right? I'm like, they're a low-class merchant family, like, basically lower middle class. They're not gonna be blowing 500 gold pieces worth of spells.
The thing is, even if there wasn't like a D&D ultrasound, like families are quote unquote superstitious, and if like the wife experienced something abnormal, she would probably confide to the priest about
As
it.
far
And
as the abnormality goes, the priest says she never mentioned anything abnormal. That's in the sense of feeling off about the pregnancy, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, time to ask the biologist in here. When a tiefling baby is conceived, do the mothers actually experience oddities or not?
Generally, once,
It's a surprise for everyone.
yeah, it's kind of a nasty surprise for everybody.
Especially
it's
the baby, as they're quickly taken care of.
Hey. Yeah, it's a bad thing when tiefling kids are born. Not just for the baby, but the family also isn't allowed to breed anymore.
I mean, it makes sense.
Cursed family.
Yeah. Well, technically in my D&D lore, you technically have a hint of demonic blood in you that popped up. One of your parents fucked a succubus sometime in the past.
God, it's a good thing you didn't say RNS. It's a good thing you didn't say RNS. Or I would have left this conversation.
Give me my empathetic RNSs, thank you.
Okay, well, this does answer most of my questions for the cleric, so...
Is Mrs. Orr okay?
I inform her of her quote-unquote presumed situation.
Oh dear, that's horrible. As you guys gather, it's been a couple days. It's not like there's a huge newspaper witness of all this happening. Not everybody knows unless you were a close friend.
And even then, not everybody cares.
Yeah. This is a business relationship.
I don't know. If it's a business relationship relating to a child, I feel like I don't know, maybe would have kept up a little bit more appearances and actually had more.
I'm sure
I don't
she
know.
has more than just
See her
one
once,
client.
She
my
sees
guy.
her frequently, man, but it's only been 3 days.
All right.
It's like
Listen,
I go weeks without seeing people, man. Like,
I'm bad at investigation things, man. I'm just riding. I'm along for the ride here.
she wasn't expecting to see Mrs. Orr again until literally the pregnancy. Like, that's basically what she told you. She was expecting to see Miss Orr basically when the baby pops out.
All right.
Though, as far as things going, as far as tiefling children go, yes, there are no abnormalities at the birth. Like, that would indicate tiefling child.
And it seemed to be like being a healthy delivery, from like as much as you could tell before it actually happened.
As far as Azamir was there, the baby was healthy. Right? There are ways of detecting whether the womb is the child would be healthy.
The womb is
both
polluted.
magical and otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
The child was healthy. There was no sign of possibilities of complications. Hopefully.
So we've discovered so far that it might be a case of them not wanting to fetus eaters deletus.
Yep.
Fuck
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Evelyn,
that's-
Constantine to escort Joel out of here.
That's I think that's all we kind of needed to confirm at the temple. Like,
Yeah.
this was meant to be a quick little stop, so
Pretty much.
dwarves.
And then Veritar opened his mouth.
Dwarves. Yeah. we literally needed to come here and go, hey, anything weird about the pregnancy? No. Was it a tiefling? No. Thank you for your time. That's all that needed to happen. Okay, moving on.
Dwarves.
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 A place where Tartar can make those comments and it would just be go, he's drunk.
Okay, so you go to Dwarven Ales, which is actually what you guys are aware is a tavern.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So as you guys gather yourselves and head off towards the Dwarven Ales, and I will just get your tokens here together so I can easily get you together for a quick copy-paste. You guys head over to the Dwarven Ales Tavern. And 1 second as we are switching maps. You guys enter the Dwarven Ales, where you see a lot of people about. It seems to be a very busy night. Lots of people about drinking, having some celebrations. You guys, by the way, right now would be in late evening. Considering you guys have been literally running around the city all day, back and forth.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Oh god, all of these look like anime characters. Jesus.
They're just D&D tokens I can find, man. Okay, I got pushed
There's
out.
too many people to talk to.
Yeah, well, for the purposes of this, these were just because I have a lot less standard tokens that aren't human-based. But you look about and you gather with a quick talk. The two most important people to speak of is would probably be the maid, or would be the servers, or the bartender would have the most information what you're looking for.
Okay, but
Other than that, you could literally be looking between hundreds of people that come in here every day. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
look at the Dragonborn lady right there. That's for Baka.
you
What?
mean this one?
Yeah.
I'll pop it up for Baka.
I like how I didn't even see that until he mentioned it. Like, wait, what?
I still don't see that.
It's here, Jordan. It's
How
here.
did you... Oh my god, how did you find that? Jesus.
I know, right? I'm like, what?
Theodar's eyes just fucking zoomed in on the scaly and went, yes.
My eyes
The scaly
see.
There's
didn't
something
even
you need to
zoom in
tell
on
us,
the scale.
Veritar.
What do I see with my special elven eyes?
Theodar's character just looks at every female and goes, yes.
Eyeballs in my skull. Where is the scaliest one?
Okay, someone who doesn't look like a shriveled mummy should probably talk to the bartender.
I will go to the bartender. This is the
I-
accent I was using before.
I will go with the now French Dragonborn.
I will find myself a table and make myself look scarce.
Imagine Constantine goes with you. So the three of you approach the bartender. He's like spit cleaning a glass. He's an older dwarf gentleman, bald head, gray beard. I'll just blow up his picture for the sake of simplicity in the video recording.
By the way, for the purposes of this, I would like to quote-unquote be inciting the bartender just to see if he's shifty.
Sure. So the bartender looks over. She goes, "Oi, what y'all looking here for? What y'all want?" He's just cleaning a mug.
At the moment, for me, information.
I don't know that drink. He says, looking at you. What? I'm assuming you guys will announce yourselves as investigators for this, because before you guys were kind of assumed to be everywhere. At this point, you're in a bar where literally investigators come in to drink all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
We pull out our FBI agents. We're here on official business.
Okay, fair enough. What's a lot of you here for?
We're looking into problems with disappearances. Specifically, we are told that the Orr family has come here often.
Oh, aye. Well, I mean, Edward and Emily comes in here every once in a while. I mean, after all, they're pretty close with us. Well, at least with Marion over there. She's the godmother of the child, or supposed to be once the little wee one pops out.
Wait, who?
Who?
Marion! The tavern girl over there. She points out over at the halfling girl with the red hair and mug.
Where did she come from? She wasn't here before.
Where did she
was.
go from? Where did she go?
I didn't notice.
Apparently, he doesn't see short people.
No.
It's all scaly, hell yeah! Not my height. Wait a second, you're telling me you missed the lolly?
I missed the lolly. My shame is immeasurable. I will go commit ritual seppuku now. Sudoku.
Sudoku. Ritual Sudoku.
Oh, ritual Sudoku.
Yep.
I'm surprised they didn't lock on the elf wife too.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Oh, I immediately noticed that. Like, I went through every single person just to see how many animes were there.
Fair enough.
Alright.
I found the token I've used.
I'm sure there's a lot of them.
I'll just go quickly through the names of the other
This one in
that
particular.
disappeared on the off chance that they might have been here just to see.
Well, you go through the names, and yeah, one of the others have been here. I mean, again, it's a local tavern. People come in and all the time. But yeah, he recognized one of the names.
Might as well.
Yeah. None of the slaves ring a bell.
I figured. I wasn't even going to bother.
Yeah.
Okay, time to question Marion then.
See, with your persuasion rolls, I doubt that, but I don't have persuasion, so I'm not going to bother either.
So
So
you
I'm
walk
trying to
over.
intimidate someone, yes.
Waitress is going around serving some a couple of this pair of dwarves. Here's some food. You approach. Goes, oh, just one moment here. What? Oh, hello. What do you pair you want?
From what we've gathered, you appear to be the godfather of the unborn or family.
Could you try that again, but slower?
From what we have gathered,
You're close to the Orr family, yes?
yeah, what he said, but slower.
How the fuck do you have the highest persuasion, yet you can't actually talk to people?
Listen, English is hard, okay? Especially when you're a high
I'm
elf.
making do with my just pure charisma.
Common is not my first tongue.
If we were speaking in Elven, I'd be all over this bitch.
If
she
I was
looks-
speaking in fucking blown, just fucking jibber jabber, I'd be great at this.
she looks. She looks over at the. Oh yes, I know the Ors quite well.
Do you have any recent contact with them?
Well, I did see Maria about 4 days ago. With Emily.
Oh, in the evening?
Oh, would have been actually in the closest to the morning, I think. She was excited. She said she felt the baby was kicking. I was feeling a little tummy of the little one inside. Can't wait to see him. Or her, as case may be.
You know, I like how he didn't ask what I was going to ask, but he still got the result I was looking for.
So the lady was still pregnant while she was here, Jesus. Okay.
My
Well,
fucking
I
God.
mean, that's usually how pregnant women work, yes?
Face palms.
Yeah.
Listen, she
Yeah.
might have come. She might
This
have.
guy, I like to believe this.
He was
our fucking
doing
Joel just doesn't
so
understand
well.
pregnancy. He doesn't understand. He was never given the talk or anything.
What
What do you mean they don't? I thought they spread out of the ground like trees. What's happening?
I thought the stork delivered babies until this quest
You said,
started.
Amelia and
He's
Edward
never seen a
Orr
pregnant woman in his life.
had-
This is all new
had-
territory.
Hold up, guys. What was that, Liam?
You had said they'd gone missing 3 days ago,
Yes, 3 days ago.
and Marion saw them the morning of the day they went missing. All right.
Yep. And
Or
they
the day
went
before. She
missing in
said
the
3 or
evening.
4 days ago. She wasn't
So
sure.
yeah, it was roughly the morning, probably when they disappeared.
Yeah. They disappeared in the evening, so probably gotten the child, discovered it was a tiefling, poof, they're gone.
All right, even
Okay.
though I am getting good points out here, I gotta use the restroom, so I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Well, that's about all of the questions I had for Marion.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
maybe- Maybe, do they have some relatives outside of town?
Outside the city? I don't think they have any anywhere nearby, anyways.
Anywhere they could go to in case something happened?
She kind of looks at you, confused. What do you mean if something happens?
Ma'am,
asking all these
please
questions about
answer.
the
Ma'am, please answer the question.
God, I thought my character was an asshole. What the fuck?
Joel, roll me an intimidation check.
An intimidation? I'm not sounding intimidating yet. I'm just saying, ma'am, please answer the question.
Roll.
See? It's not intimidating at all. I'm just, ma'am, answer the question, please.
She kind of looks over at you and kind of glares at you. She's like, I don't know what this is all about, but I don't feel like I have to tell you that anything about their family.
You don't feel like it, eh? Okay.
I don't know if you noticed. The Ols had gone missing, so we're looking for them. Any information that you might have would be most helpful. Regardless. of
Yes,
all.
and any information that you're hiding might be considered heresy.
I'm gonna punch him.
I'm gonna look at you approvingly and give you advantage.
All right.
I look at him approvingly and I give him advantage.
Any information you have on what question my friend here asked would be most helpful.
She kind of looks over.
Quick question:
don't
have we
know.
delivered the news that they're gone yet?
Yes,
Yes.
I said it, and this dumbass goes, any information you're holding is heresy, and I punched him and got advantage from Jordan.
My fucking god.
Like, I haven't been talking because I know my character would just be an ass about it, but like, he's not going anywhere because he's socially inept, so like, I'm better than that.
You're underestimating how
I
much.
leave for less than a minute.
Marion looks over at all of you with kind of a scowl on her face. She goes, if they're missing, I don't know any information about their family that could be helpful.
Insight on
I
the
would
whole
also like to
I'd
insight.
like the insight on the fact that the last time Marion talked to them was 3 or 4 days ago, and she doesn't know it. Right.
I'd like to insight just the last bit.
Dirty
Yeah,
20.
the last bit as well.
Okay, so you guys insight.
I finally rolled bad.
Arwen and Joel, you can tell she's okay. First off, you gather what she said about them seeing last was probably true. She didn't seem to be hostile towards you until you started asking about family members, and seemed to be heavily implying that she fled the country, fled to family or something.
You
based on
know,
everything that's
I
happening.
wasn't implying it. Shit stick here was, so I'm sorry.
Joel was kind of heavily implying they were doing something wrong and illegal, and that's why she's been resistant to this. She's obviously close friends with them and does not take kindly to you guys talking about that to her friend.
What do you mean talking bad about them? I'm just ordering a beer.
Yes, I'm just gonna de-escalate the situation by leaving the bar. Okay, don't mind me. You
I
continue
am sorry,
on.
Marion, my friend, but whatever he
One
implied,
beer, please. Light if possible.
whatever he implied, I don't think you did. So please, any information you might have is most helpful for us helping find them, and so this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Can I use that advantage? Oh
That's
wait.
not an attack roll.
Oh fuck! I didn't actually read the ability. I just heard advantage and like, ooh.
You have advantage on punching him. That's the thing. That's what I used it for.
You see why I haven't been talking? You see why I haven't been talking? The 2 times I've rolled persuasion was like one was a 4, one was a 6.
You
Yeah,
say that, but our bonuses are the same.
She looks over at you and kind of, no charismatic party I've ever seen.
Yeah,
know,
I have a -1
I
because I
figured at
purposely
least
made it.
one of us would have had persuasion. That wasn't.
I have persuasion. I have persuasion, so I can give
I
you
do have
advantage.
persuasion.
Okay, I can give you advantage, but I'm not good at talking to people.
I mean, that's
she just kind of looks at the lot of you. Sorry. What were you saying, Baka?
like it's a fucking one-way street. I can't give anyone advantage, but hey, I got a +2.
She looks over at the lot of you, but kind of looks over and goes, honestly, I don't say I know much about the family outside the city. She's never really mentioned it to me.
All right. Was Amelia acting strangely at all, or was anything weird, or just
As far as
the last
I'm
time you
aware,
saw her?
Amelia, last time I talked to her, she seemed rather excited. The baby kicked a little harder than normal. She was a bit pain. We figured she was going into labor probably in the next day or two.
All right. Thank you.
Everything's tracking so far.
Thank you, and sorry for my compatriot again.
That's fine. You should really learn how to speak to a lady better.
Should really learn how to speak better. Okay. No, no.
Dilly dilly.
Do the thing. There you go. I am done talking.
Okay, what's next, guys?
If we're done, we can leave. Like,
Yep, are you guys just gonna leave
So-
the tavern then?
yeah, let's go to the
Did
smith.
what specific information, if any, did we get the second I left?
She was there that morning. The baby was kicking.
Potentially that morning or the day before.
Yeah, and we
Alright.
don't know anything about.
Because if we're gonna
Her
use this running
family.
theory, if we're using this running theory that people were like unhappy with their lives when
I
they
mean,
were taken,
This
My
doesn't
theory is that they were there the day before and she did possibly go into labor soon or whatever and found out maybe Tiefling baby. I don't know.
They disappeared in the evening, so it could be the same day that they
Yeah,
thought.
like,
she disappeared.
only
be the
way
same
they'd
thing.
know it's a Tiefling baby is if they gave birth, and that's not a quiet affair by any means.
In the privates of your own home. I mean,
Yes.
you could
It's-
make it pretty quiet.
Hearing screaming is very easy to do.
You could. I mean,
And it
wanna
would
go.
definitely leave fucking more than just clean home.
Yeah, but you can clean the fucking stains, my guy, or give birth on a towel.
Listen, that was my theory on all this. You could take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah.
my theory as well, because that seems to be the most likely thing. It's every clue is leading towards it. Now, of course, it may just be a red herring, but still.
Alright, so.
Yes. Where are we going next? I don't know.
So it's late in the evening, so.
Okay. I mean,
Jordan, you
tomorrow I
didn't want
want
to attempt
to.
anything in the bar?
What?
You didn't want to attempt anything in the bar?
No, they more or less got most things that I wanted to ask, so.
I vote jokingly we send the fucking slave to the slums because it's roughly the time for kidnapping and see if something happens there.
Or we could go to the arena.
I mean, yeah, but well,
I mean,
it's
And then
very
you can
late in the
send
evening.
slave into the arena.
what I want to do is go see how the guards operate the sewage exits at night and ask them if anything suspicious happened recently. That's
Okay.
what I want to do.
You've cleaned the pipes
I
recently.
swear, you're like grappling onto this one sewer thing that I think was mentioned offhandedly as the description of the app.
I want to confirm that it's not the sewers. I think it's not the sewers, but I want to confirm.
Alright.
Like, it also is really harsh to put a woman with her now born baby, like, immediately then and there through the fucking dirty ass sewers, but you
It's
know.
also very rude to make a bunch of families disappear and take slaves. But
Exactly.
you don't. You know what? I don't think they care.
Like it might be a pyramid scheme, you know. It might be like, you're unhappy with your life, just join our corporate wizard school and everything will be fine. And you're there like calculating the amount of magic amount of spell slots you need for something. Meanwhile, they're using all those calculations to get richer every day.
Okay.
So it's either that or just like
Address
try
the
and
wizard
patrol
school
at
in the-
night. Their areas
Suggesting
of.
the wizard school in the country that hates the arcane.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Before we leave the tavern, I'd like to just quickly ask the dude if like, just general like if he knows any families in the poor districts that again fit the whole mentality of wants a better life.
Yeah, but how many? I'm pretty sure a lot.
9 out
people
of
be like
10
that.
families.
No, not 9 out of 10, but like let's say 6 or 7 out of 10.
I mean, yeah, you know, he mentions that, yeah, there's quite a few people who kind of grumble about wanting better lives, or grumble about paying too much taxes, or grumble about the difficulty not owning a slave. I mean, people grumbling about wanting a better life is fairly common, especially in a pub.
Yeah, I figured, but might as well.
Yeah.
This is either a case of somebody kidnapping and everything we've been investigating so far has been stupid and like a red herring, or it's somebody like goading people into it by promising a better life. So
That or it's
It-
literally
it's
just
like-
changing of strategy, getting bolder again. 'Cause,
It-
like, again.
it's like that one time when we entered a place with heat and there was a puzzle and we typed in porn and that was not the answer.
And it really should have been.
It should have been porn.
But no, like no investigation is completed on day one. Like Jesus, FBI can have cases ranging from literal months to years.
Yes, I understand this. I mean, one of my first idea was to wait.
Delphic,
for the
you
next
should know,
person.
or Durator, you should know how long the fucking things last, because we fucking played a game where we know when the fucking case is considered closed. It's like a decade.
I understand this, but like I'm talking about one of my first fucking recommendations was to wait until a new person gets kidnapped so we get the freshest clues possible.
Yes, but counter argument, we investigate during the day, and when there's a new thing, we have all the background information
I know.
and the new evidence.
I know. I'm talking. Yeah, I understand that. That's why I'm checking the sewers tonight.
Okay, so you check the sewers tonight. You see that there's generally a guard or two at each sewer, at the sewer grates. There are a lot of exit sewer grates in the city.
Yeah, and they're paying attention.
I mean, some are, some aren't. You know, it's guard duty.
So
Right.
it's theoretically possible, but unlikely.
It is possible. There is completely possible that someone can sneak out of this. Like, it's not like it's not like you got a freaking huge prison complex with 100% aware guards.
It's
These are
just a
people
couple
who are
of guards.
Yeah, there's a
but
couple guards fucking
there's-
around outside a sewer grate, and let's
It's
be
more
honest,
determent than it is actual wall
but
stuff.
it's way too many people in way too short a time period.
you can gather that chances are, I'd say chances are you can gather from the information what you gather from that is it might be possible. It is definitely possible for people to sneak out in and out of the sewer cases occasionally. It's not. You'd have to have a lot of planning and you'd have to be prepared, but it's possible. Given the amount of time between each case, it's unlikely all these cases could have gone through the sewers and escaped the city.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Though it is possible that they
Paid off
if
the
they are
guards.
using the city sewers, you know what? Roll me just as flat intelligence for this next bit.
Yay,
Or just
-1.
specifics.
My only negative sat to intelligence. My battle will be legendary.
Okay, that's all the information I'm giving you then.
Okay.
So you basically know that based off what you've learned is people can sneak out of the city, people can leave. It's unlikely that they, given the extent that, nobody would have noticed. Given
It's a
like, if someone's going
possibility,
through
but
every
an
few
unlikely
days.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That's it for my evening. You guys?
Anybody else doing anything with the last of their night for the day one investigations?
We
One
never did
wonder.
check the sewer grate or the entrances near the first family thing. And they were gone 2 days ago, so they would probably have more recent information. 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days ago. So, what are you trying to get there then?
They obviously probably didn't walk around in the middle of the streets because, everyone else hasn't. They've mostly been disappearing into alleyways. And so I'll check the nearby alleyways for either sewer entrances things or some kind of if something was left behind. I mean, this is a lady who was due pregnant, so if there's anything knocked over or something, because she probably wasn't the most upright. Yeah, let's walk in a straight line and be absolutely okay. Oh my god, my stomach is fine, sort of thing.
Okay, so you're looking for signs of her traveling the area?
Kinda, yeah.
Just roll me an investigation.
Can I help aid him with that? As
I
I
would
would
assume
be.
you're probably together. Yes, I will. Given the fact that one of you're always together.
Alright, how about we roll our own investigations?
I mean, if he allows it.
You can roll each one each. Yep.
But what about guidance?
Be greedy.
We're checking
Be greedy.
multiple alleyways.
Okay, 13 and a 7. Nothing that strikes you specifically. Nothing that would indicate a pregnant woman knocked over something, especially 3 days earlier.
Yeah. Is there any sewer entrances nearby? We should have noticed that.
I mean, there was one probably within a couple 100 feet, maybe.
Couple 100 feet. Dang, these good numbers made that woman walk a while, or they got her out some other way.
For starters,
And
a couple 100 feet's not nearly as long as you think it is.
It's wrong. It's long if your water broke, Heath.
Yes, it's long if your water broke. Fair.
All
Then
right,
again,
yeah.
the husband disappeared too. Who knows? Maybe he carried.
Then I'll definitely open up that sewer thing and have a quick look around. I'll go into the sewers for a sec and see if I can notice anything. How usually, unless they're really well maintained sewers, how there's actual mold and moss, and see if there's handprints of someone leaning on the wall.
Sure, you pop open a sewer grate and you stick your head down. You can roll me an investigation.
Fun.
Does he find the bedroll?
6. Nothing.
You see a suspicious-looking log float by.
Mm.
Only to
That's
realize it's
how
just a
everyone-
big ass shit of an ogre.
You're not sure if it's a Twix bar or not. uh, Yeah,
The only thing.
no. So yeah, basically, you can't see any signs of recent movement by your standard by looking in the sewer right now.
Okay.
So yeah,
Unless-
just for
Go ahead.
confirmation on my side, should a kidnapping or not kidnapping, but another disappearance happen, is it reasonable to believe that we already have somebody to give us word as soon as possible? Once it's
Yeah, you'll be
determined?
notified the next time someone goes missing. But of course, the problem is when someone goes missing, it will always be at least
It'll take a time before
It'll take
they
8
make the
hours, right?
connection. Yeah.
yeah. Like it's not like someone goes missing. Like, oh no, someone's missing. It's like you gotta wait long
Yeah,
enough
no,
for someone.
no,
to
I
realize
assume,
they
but
go
I meant
missing.
like assuming like a little bit into the morning.
Yeah.
Slash
Like, you-
maybe.
To give you a reference, the family went missing as far as they could tell 3 days ago because that was the last time someone saw them. Nobody realized they went missing like till a day ago.
Yeah, I figured.
There's the assumption is because again you have to give enough time for someone to think they're missing. The slaves
Yeah.
usually are quicker because they got to be at fucking work to be slaves.
hmm
But the people could just be people don't think about it immediately, right?
People
So
don't
usually-
immediately assume the worst.
Yeah. Usually
fair.
24 hours, right?
Yeah.
is when you're looking for a missing person.
Then yeah, the only other thing I'd do is like go to the docks and like just ask around to see if anyone's arrived like since like 2 months or when the kidnappings basically started and has basically hasn't left.
I mean, there have been all kinds of people coming in and out of the city. This is a port town, a major port
That
town.
hasn't left.
I mean, do they track people who?
To a
enter
degree,
the-
you could. Like, I'm just trying to get a vague idea is better than nothing.
I
really.
would say you don't get anything specific. Like, there's probably a couple dozen people that could have possibly moved into the city within that time frame.
Yeah,
right, 'cause
I'm just.
Because you obviously can't just look at the day because that means nothing. But give yourself like a 3-week time span. Like people move into the city every day.
Oh yeah, no, I figured. Like, I'm just trying to make the list from literally anyone to at least there's a possible list.
Yeah, you gather you would have a list of hundreds at the minimum.
Well, compared to the population of this entire fucking area, that's pretty good.
So you got to list up a couple hundred names, about 100 names or so.
Works. My character's off the bed.
Okay. Anybody else do anything before the next day ticks over?
I wonder if we should, like, it's a long shot, but wonder if we should stake a stakeout.
I mean, that is beyond.
But stake
like,
where? That's the question. Where?
Slums, probably, considering we have a slave.
So
I
you
mean,
guys gotta
that would
we
shove
be-
had
Constantine
slaves
into
have
the
been taken
slums.
from the docks, the
He
fucking
would-
slums.
How
Here-
is your slave
No,
attacking,
isn't-
my guy? He needs to
thing
act
is-
like he's unsatisfied with his life.
I look at Constantine, I look back at you. I attempt for you to realize that he is literally a slave carrying chains around.
Yeah,
no
but like,
slave
maybe,
is truly content.
listen, maybe he enjoys it, okay? Like,
So your stakeout strategy is to have Constantine kind of
Teabag.
huff about, and hopefully the people that have been taking discontented people will target him.
yes.
Again, that's literally why I said it's a long shot.
One in probably, considering the size of the city's probably around 1 million people, give or take. Yeah, it's a pretty big long shot.
I mean, he's actively trying to like be targeted, so you know it's probably not 1 in a million. It's probably closer to 1 in 10,000.
Maybe he's like, oh God, I
Nah,
wish somebody would just take me
Another
away
common
from
thing is
this.
these are people in households, not walking
Like,
around.
I would do anything. I would even crawl through the sewers if need be. I just want to get out.
No, I wouldn't even do that. I'd say 1 in 500,000 minimum. Because again, like the
case
people,
there's long shots and there's just silly.
then there's just lost causes.
Yeah. Fair
Because
enough.
like for one, there's no
given the
guarantee it'll
information
happen
you-
tonight. 2, even if he is in the slums, there's no guarantee it'll happen in the slums. And then if it happens in the slums, there's no guarantee he'll be picked.
Yeah, but just do it anyway. Like, what's there to lose?
I mean, there's
Oh,
nothing wrong with it. You can do it. I will tell you right now, it fails. So next day.
One actually does wonder whether we should essentially just post one of us at like, or get like a guard at each quote unquote hot zone, and essentially have them be like a sentry for this specific thing. Like if someone gets kidnapped from a hot zone, we are immediately informed as soon as possible.
I mean, yeah,
Like it's
I
not
guess.
feasible with like our current resources, Heat.
I mean, you could have guards at the hot zones, but the hot zones are like broad, right? Where I mean, each hot zone would be thousands of
Neighborhoods.
square miles, right? Neighborhoods, right?
Yeah,
Like
I'm-
you would.
The thing is, I don't expect the guard to catch the criminal off guard. I expect because there's
It
an
might
active person
expedite
there.
a warning to
for
investigate.
for it to give us like a 2 to 3 hour lead
It
on
might
it.
give us a warmer trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, unless you have the guards every house knocking on the doors in the morning to see if someone was kidnapped, don't see how they would be able to help there. Like,
Okay.
short of them catching a guy wandering off being kidnapped, I don't think you'd save any significant amount of time.
What if we start a new community program called the Neighborhood Watch, where the neighbors check in on each other every single day?
You know what I hate? I hate that can work.
In theory, yes. The issue
Yeah,
is odds
just
are we'll
gotta
have a
set up-
dozen more. We'll have dozens of more kidnappings before we actually fucking get that tracking through everywhere.
Hey,
It's the
Heath,
dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yep.
what's this area? Right over here.
Oh, that's
What's this?
just a lower income housing.
Lower
No.
income than the surrounding
No.
area?
Yeah, basically, the more densely packed it is, the lower income it is on the whole.
Alright, that's like the only other area other than.
That's the only area that hasn't been hit. Let's check it
No,
out.
no, I mean, that area over there is slums, and I'm looking at the rest of the map. There is nowhere else like that densely packed over there. Maybe that's be the next place to hit.
I mean, that's probably more densely packed, partly due to the fact that it's also right by the arena.
Yeah.
People like to be near the entertainment. So,
Yeah.
though it is densely packed, it's more expensive to live there.
Alrighty.
That and more entertainment.
I'm just
value.
throwing it out there. I thought maybe.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a fair idea. I just letting
Okay.
you know why it's probably more densely packed. This is by one of the major, like, places to check out. Well, this place over here is by literally nothing except the, exit and the docks, which generally, again, leads to slums.
Fair enough. Let's let day 1 pass by.
Yeah.
Okay, so day 1 passes by, second day comes up. No new kidnappings.
Okay. So, everyone, what's your like current theory?
Well, my current theory is that somebody's coming and like helping people, quotation marks, that are in dire needs or like unsatisfied with their life, find a better life or whatever, like.
But what would they gain from that?
That's the question. Maybe they're lying to them. Maybe all that's left for them is like being magic subjects or like, I don't know, shoe shiners. I don't know what they gain from it. Like, you could just
If you
pretend
can't
that
find a
they're-
gain, look at the results of the current action.
you can like pretend that you're doing something good and have nefarious ideas underneath those intents.
Generally speaking, when you can't find like a purpose, look to the results and see if that has any lead.
Current results: a lot of
Not a
slaves. A lot of slaves are missing, and a couple of citizens.
Exactly. Not much, but that's generally how it works.
So
Very early on.
Yeah, but everybody has one thing in common. They were unsatisfied with their
No,
current
nope. The most recent one that wasn't unsatisfied. If anything, they were in a very happy time.
Yeah, but our theory that stands currently about them is pretty fucking solid so far.
Well,
Like,
on top of
I
that,
would give
we
it
have
more
proof
than
that
a-
they've been getting bolder since they initially were only at the docks, and then it was only slaves, and then it's reached out to just unhappy people, and now that's even gone or potentially gone.
Exactly, because their influence might have spread. It might be even an underground cult, as far as I know.
But
Like, getting bolder could just mean that they've expanded their influence, not just that they're
my belief
feeling
is
safer.
definitely a sudden thing, because like if families aren't noticing any definite changes or anything like that, but then there's people walking out and just disappearing, then
I don't like the smuggling idea just because of the like.
It doesn't have to be smuggling. You're misunderstanding. I'm saying that there's somebody going to them, promising them a better life. I'm not saying that they're being smuggled out. I'm saying
but
that
If a person like that exists, but by this amount of like overall kidnappings, right? There would be one or two failed cases where quote unquote person goes up to a guy, goes, "Hey, want a better life?" And guy goes, "No, thank you, weirdo."
Okay, but how would that be reported to the guards?
At least one or two people would probably be concerned about it and like make a report of it. Of like,
If you
hey,
say so.
this weird
What?
charlatan was like.
What's your ongoing theory then? That's my theory.
again, like I'm thinking again, it's basically maybe layout of the general area, find people that seem to be in a initially bad state that are relatively secluded, and just start again with weird magic. They're just convincing them to go off.
I mean, that's the same as my theory. Pretty much.
It's not necessarily.
They're not the same, but they're pretty close together.
The difference is like you're including motive, which is just impossible to get.
Did we check out the Smiths yet? The Smith
Yeah.
yet?
No,
have
we
not.
haven't gone to the
No.
Smith nor the arena.
We might want to. Everyone has their working theory. No one start
tell
like
us
solidifying their working theory unless we,
Tell us your theory, Arwin.
I don't have one.
Well, then not everyone has a working theory, do they?
Theoretically, people don't just vanish into thin air, right?
I was going to say they
I
seem to
mean,
be having a
general
really
though-
good life. There has to be a reason they.
Yeah,
up and late.
there are some things that could make you vanish into thin air. Can you actually true polymorph somebody into thin air?
No.
No,
Check
I
out
think
the
it has to be a
There's a
Yeah,
creature.
different spell that does
Okay.
that though.
I mean, you could
It's
technically
easier to
turn.
get.
Yeah, you could technically polymorph someone into an air elemental.
Yeah,
And on
but
top of that, there's things that literally just turn you into gas so you can pass through doors and shit.
but it's still like it's still technically a creature. Like you can sense an air elemental despite not being able to see it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
condensed air.
that
and condensed
little-
air is easier to see.
That little tedious side of a fucking wizard with true polymorph, an 8th level spell, if I recall correctly, just showing
That
up to
was
the
a
slums
joke.
going, "Hey,
That was
wanna
a joke. That was a joke.
Want a better
I
life?
know.
Turn into a walking tornado.
Huh.
I mean, my biggest question is: are the victims or perpetrators still in the city, or are they outside of the city?
I mean, the victims have to be quote unquote somewhere because, again, people don't just vanish into thin
Yeah,
air.
but are they in
So,
the city or
I
outside
have
of
a
the
thing.
city?
I have a thing. Haven't we been focusing on the woman and her being pregnant for a while? Have we asked any questions about the husband at all? Maybe something happened to him that makes him.
He went to the
I would
Smith
fucking-
mostly, so
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
that
that's
when I say we
next
go to
door,
Smith,
yeah.
ask maybe something happened to him that might, I don't know, make your running theory of ill contempt, like he got fired or something, and all that, and just like,
business dropped heavily.
business dropped. They couldn't support the child, and Amelia didn't know about it until the day of. We've been asking
mean-
so many questions about the wife. We haven't asked anything about the husband at all.
We
Yeah,
could always try that, yes.
Yeah.
Let's.
worth a shot at the very least.
Okay, to the Smith it is. Lolly
guys.
ho.
Get the next morning, you get yourselves, and you head towards the Smiths.
John Smith and Dave Smith.
I'll be right back.
You find a small Smith area where you find where to be. This is a twin, a dual shop owned Smith, run by a dwarf and an elf.
And the
The
goblin.
dwarf. That's a orc. But yes. And that's not owned by, that is obviously a slave used to pump the billows.
Nah, he's the secret owner. It's all a corporate scheme.
And you're the secret fuel that we're about to add to the charcoal.
You see, anyways, you see an older gray bearded dwarf Smith. As you guys would know, his Brodine.
Bro.
Brodine.
Bro.
I linked their names so you guys can see him. And then you see Elysiana, which is the elf Smith.
Bro, though.
Interessante.
Okay, I'll leave this one to you guys because last time I tried to interrogate somebody, they got mad.
Last time I
Alright.
tried to interrogate someone, I left to take a piss and I came back and apparently they're in a terrible mood.
We got this, Uncode. We got.
I mean,
got
theoretically, I
we
got
got
all the
this.
info that we needed out of them.
I'm just surprised. I literally went off to take a piss and I came back and the whole situation was turned around.
Yeah, but technically, we got all the information we needed out of them, so my goal was successful.
Wait, I wasn't here as well. What just happened?
Nothing has happened yet.
Joel has openly said he's not participating in this conversation, which is great.
I see.
Not until you need me.
Mm.
When I feel like I am needed, I will step in.
No, you will be told when you are needed and then step in.
No, I will not be told anything.
No, that's
You
not how
have
this
now
works.
been granted slave rights, or the
So
lack
as
of.
the
No.
far you argue and the orc, the two Smiths look at you and goes, "Oi, what the fuck are you all doing here?" So you guys argue outside his gate for like 20 minutes.
So, gentlemen,
That's very
present yourselves.
Good morning to you. We are told that our family did business with one of you.
All did business with both of us. This is a smithy owned by a pair of us.
All the better. I ended up trying to match his accent. What the fuck?
Oh, you're making fun of me, Dragonborn.
That is my go-to accent, and then you just start doing that shit when I'm roughly in that zone. I'm so matching that accent on habit. I hate it. It's such an accent I just easily default to. It's so fucking
Yeah, the
annoying.
Scottish accent's one of them accents.
Yeah, it is. Especially when I'm just doing a roughly fucking scratchy voice.
Oh, any case, what do you all want? I'm busy.
We are sorry for intruding on your work. When was the last time you saw Edward or Amelia?
Well, I don't know much about Amelia. Don't really deal with her, but Edward, I week sold me a big pile of ore to get new stuff, shipment in.
All right.
You talk much doing your business, or
I don't know what you mean by talk much, but apart from business deals and this, Lysiana over there does more of the business side of things. She's a little more better with the tongue than I am.
All right.
Better with the tongue.
Shut up. This is why we don't want you talking.
fucking hell! We need to make him a Kenku just to limit what he can fucking say.
Genuinely.
Like he's still gonna mess up, but at least he's limited to what he can say.
Right? Alisana,
Yes, what do you want?
I assume you saw Edward last when Rodine saw him last, yes?
Yes, last week when I paid him the gold for the shipment he gave.
God, I don't know what to fucking ask! Ah, I suck at this.
What does
How
he
did
get
he seem when you last saw him?
Okay.
Could you repeat that?
How did he seem when you last saw him?
A rather good mood, honestly. He just made a good killing in the oil business. I mean, we just had to hit a good vein, he said. With his or should say, his supplier hit a good vein, so he had quite a bit of oil to sell.
Do you know his supplier or wherever he works at?
Well, he's a merchant, so his supplier is one of the obviously mines by here. He works to a small mine to the west of here, I believe, about 4 days march.
Uh-huh.
The issue here I'm having is I'm internalizing new theories every time I fucking stop talking. Let's see. Nah,
Was
I've
it-
got a blank right now.
Roughly, how much coinage was exchanged that week?
Well, let's see here. That week we gave him 50 golds worth of ore purchased.
That's a lot of gold.
And counting back about, let's say, 2 months back from that incident, how much overall business would you say you've had with yours? And
Do you mean how much ore have we bought over him over the year?
over the last 2 months?
Somewhere around. Well, let me get my ledgers, and she kind of walks back in there, pulls out the thing. Ah, here we are. Over the last 2 months, we purchased about 200 golds worth of ore over to them.
Thank you.
We should check their tax returns.
No, I'm here's what I'm internalizing, because like if this is a smuggling ring, they might be smuggling people who are unhappy, but people who have like come into coinage recently might also just be like, hey, I would like to leave the fucking empire, thank you very much.
Yeah, but there's so many slaves. Like, how would slaves come across that much coinage?
No, like as in like the smuggling ring would essentially use the slaves as like
Marketing tool?
no, as like a slave would essentially pay their way through the smuggling operation via labor, but someone who has come into coin can just essentially pay for the service,
But if
essentially.
it's a smuggling operation, couldn't we like find out about it more through, asking about rumors in the slums with a slave?
That's one of the pieces that doesn't fit. Like,
My
Like, they seem
internalized
to
theory was like, is this a lot of fortune that just started shining upon them roughly before they disappeared? Because if so, I mean,
It happened within the last week. Like,
So
Good job.
what you guys will know him making 200 gold in the last month seems like a lot, but he also has to buy the ore to sell to them. Profit-wise, he's probably only made about 100 gold in 2 months.
Like,
Which
again,
is good. Like, it makes him middle class, but he's not like super rich.
Oh, I figured.
Yeah.
But
It
why
wasn't
is
like
it
that. It was
so
literally, it's less of, oh, he's suddenly rich, but more of, like, compared to his normal average, like, this is trying to see if there's a lot of up and up since the past 2 months.
Why is a trader living in low-income areas?
He's a lower middle income.
It's cheaper.
Like he's a
lower
like,
middle
like
class.
he's an ore trader. He's not a merchant.
Okay.
Yeah, like ore trader is he does one trade for one thing. He's not
He's
like a
very
high level
limited.
merchant. He's basically he would be like just starting off as merchant trading, right? He's not huge into it yet. So he's a low class merchant at best.
Small business, mom and pops.
Yeah.
But at least we know from this that his business wasn't failing when they left. I don't know
Based
if
off this,
any other info can be determined from this.
Again, like, my internalized theories are, like, perhaps, like, they just wanted, he and, like, maybe the husband made a deal to, like, get better, and that led him to the current disappearance.
I mean, we could ask about the other people as well then, like what was their income like, if you want to follow that train of thought. Like, he wasn't the only person to disappear. There's other people with other incomes that we could check.
I will also say, as you guys are asking, Alessiana goes, "What are y'all asking all this for, anyways?"
Forget about it.
We
Okay.
describe the
I'm munching on
situation
you.
at hand.
While I munch on the offered peanuts that they totally have.
Oh, that's interesting. There was someone actually who did come by here to ask about the Orr family a while back.
And that might be.
Don't remember his name. He was just a dragonborn.
A dragonborn.
Was he
Inside
Roll it.
was he asked,
18.
Alright,
did he ask
describe
about
him.
them?
let me see. It was about a week or more ago. I mean, I remember the color. He was definitely blue. Fairly nice looking lad. Big eyes. Well dressed.
What's Baka's character name?
Ben
Venkod. Venkod, and any dragonborns on your list of people in the last 2 months coming to port?
About 70.
70 dragonborns. Like,
I'm
from what I
joking.
understand, dragonborns are pretty rare.
I got a
in this
few
universe.
hundred, alright? So
It's
70
an invasion.
Instead of the British invasion, it's the Dragonborn invasion. They're all here to
If
play
I got
music.
a few hundred, 70 isn't
It-
the biggest number out there.
Did she say how long ago he came around?
A
to
week
us?
Still
ago.
joking.
About a week
A week
ago,
ago.
he talked to her.
Heath.
Was
So-
he
Yeah.
was he generally asking about the ores, or did he have more specific business in mind?
Well, he did start off mentioning something about, what was it? Wanted to know where we got our ore, and then I mentioned our family, and asked some general questions about his well-being. I mentioned the fact that his wife was pregnant came up in the conversation. But, just general gossip.
All right. But what do I get out of the 18 insight that the guy actually didn't say his name, or she doesn't remember?
So she's telling you the truth, that's what you're getting.
Every
He's
time
not
I'm trying
hiding.
to insight, it's like, oh, she's telling you the truth. I'm getting nothing with this.
The dude, man, like, when they're telling the truth, that's all the insight could give you.
We're in
Yeah.
a kingdom where, yeah, on top of
She
that, like,
volunteered the information, man. Like, she brought to you. Like, it'd be weird to lie about. Like, by the way, there's this happening. Are you lying to me about it? It's like, why would I volunteer this
Maybe
info?
she's framing. Maybe she's trying to frame somebody, okay? Heath, we
Yeah,
have to
maybe.
check everything.
That's fair. She seems to be telling the truth about it.
President straws here, man.
Okay,
Holy me.
but no, Heath, In Baka's list of people that came via boat, how many Dragonborns are there actually?
On
Dude,
the list from the
I probably
2
just
months
got
ago on the
names, not
list.
even like, hey, is this
Yeah,
Dragonborn? Is this not?
I mean, you would gather 4 Dragonborn based off naming conventions.
We can go interrogate those 4. Finally,
We don't even need to interrogate. We just need to look at him. Hey, is that blue and nice
Yep.
clothing?
Yeah, exactly.
And even then, like, we just need to ask around the docks, or preferably the docks. But
Wanna
in
go do that?
the
then?
other areas, if they've seen like a blue Dragonborn.
Yeah, that was so. I take it that's your next step, then, guys.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Find
Anything
a
else
blue
at the blacksmith
Dragonborn.
before you leave?
Thanks for nuts.
Thanks for the nuts.
Hold on.
God,
Would
they
there
have
be-
nuts. She's good with her tongue. Jesus Christ, this is a load household.
You were going to say, Jordan?
Okay, so about a week ago, someone came in asking for yours.
So like 3-4 days before they disappeared.
It's now been 4 days since their disappearance, so...
Yeah,
So, yeah.
something's bothering me, but I can't put my finger on it. Jesus. Are the I would ask the blacksmith, are the ores the only supplier you have?
This, not really, but one of my better ones gives us the best price.
Did the Dragonborn ask any questions about those other ore suppliers?
I take it you asked him that.
Yeah, I asked them that.
I don't recall, actually. I don't think so.
What about Elysiana here?
I believe he was mostly just talking about the Orr family. At least that's the one I brought up, and when he kind of didn't get off the topic after that.
Oh,
I mean, let's go interrogate him.
you mean find him first?
Interrogation it is.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go look. You've got that list, so you're gonna go find the 4 people on the list.
Yeah.
That
Yes, just before that, can we stop by the Orz's household and can I find a ledger with their business on it?
Sure, we'll head over there. Roll me an investigation check.
Can I assist?
If you're proficient, you may.
I am assisting.
Okay.
I want to investigate something as well.
Okay.
Personal belongings like clothes and stuff. How much is there?
Roll me a separate investigation check.
I'll guidance Joel.
Okay. Oh, thank God you guidance me because I have a -1 to investigation.
Okay.
18.
Ermat, you are, Evrim, you are able to find the ledgers. They seem to be in order. Joel, you looking at the clothing. I mean, you're not positive, but you gathered some clothing might be missing?
Uh-huh. So it does seem like they packed off and left instead of just getting kidnapped.
Some clothes, dude. Who knows?
Yeah, but
So
some
we have
clothing.
potentially a couple pieces of food missing, though. That's men.
yeah, preservative foods, canned food. Specifically canned food that can last a trip. It was specifically preservative food, right, Heath?
There was food in jars, but yes.
Yeah. So it seems like it was all just planning for a trip. Again. They wouldn't bring their ledger with them, I assume. Would you bring a ledger with them?
I think that the missing clothes and the missing can of preservatives was either them feeding or giving stuff to somebody, and then they got kidnapped later through separate means.
I doubt it.
I think them taking the food off and stuff would be maybe.
Oh
red
yeah, no.
herring.
I'm like when I'm hearing this shit, like I'm figuring odds are not much, but it's better to have it on mind just in case.
I mean,
Right.
I'm just using this to confirm the theory that I already have, or will add more onto it.
Confirmation bias doesn't exist.
This is the reason why people don't let you like investigate shit.
Lesson here, okay? My theory
Never
is
investigate
flawless.
to make something fit a fury. You
Listen.
Dimension
You-
Door can't get
You
out of
make
the
theories
city.
around the information you find. You
Uh,
don't.
Okay,
think
yeah, I'm making theories around the information I'm finding, and I'm getting information. Okay?
And no, you legit said I want information to confirm a theory. That's a difference.
In any case, guys,
Okay. But
moot point.
think about it like this. So
I refuse.
they use a dimension door travel agency. To
I
get-
refuse.
And I'm getting Vergar.
Why would
Alrighty.
you mute me, Jesus?
I said I refuse before you even started. I know
Why
why.
would you- Jay.
I didn't actually.
Okay.
Anyways,
I'm checking the
Theoretically, the list of 4 Dragonborns and the ledger I found, do they have like business rivalries with someone that would match the name on that list that Baka has?
Okay. No,
As in, like,
none of the
zone
4 names
biddings
you
and
have
things.
would be a would have been a competitor. There would be no link between them and a competitor. You would do some research to discover that there is no link between any of those 4 names and a competitor.
I don't suppose any of us have seen a blue dragonborn wearing pretty decent clothing and big blue eyes or big eyes.
I mean, to be fair, you've seen Blue Dragonborn probably around since you've literally been running around the entire fucking city for the last 2 days. And some of them probably wear some pretty nice clothing. As far as the big blue eyes goes, lots of Dragonborns have big eyes. It's not that crazy.
Yeah, fair.
It's unfortunately when you try to describe the dog, Fluffy. I mean, like again, it's not their species, makes the descriptions rather racist.
Well,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's go search specifically for these 4 people. Like we can ask the guards, or we can like there are ways to find these 4 specific people, and out of them find the blue dragonborn. And if there isn't, then there's nothing to tie those 2 together.
I mean, part of me wants to go to the other like places, the Dwarven Ale place, see if they fucking have a specific person talking about them or some shit like that.
Where?
Since they obviously went to your the other place, the place we already been that
Oh, you want to
George
check? Okay,
frequented,
okay.
just
Yeah,
to
you
see
guys-
if they have any information about that guy.
You guys go do that. I'll try to start on the fucking finding the dragonborn thing, because I don't think me being there will help you guys after yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna split up. So you're gonna go look for the 4 Dragonborns on the list.
Yeah.
That's basically gonna be your day, obviously, for obvious reasons.
I mean, I'm gonna also like ask the guard for help.
Yes, I know,
I'm
but that's
assuming
still
I
gonna
can-
take a day,
Okay.
man. You are looking for 4 people in a city of
Okay.
You're
almost
looking
a
for
million.
4 needles in
Okay.
a field. You're looking
I
for 4
understand.
needles in a field.
I understand. I wouldn't even mind if it was more than a day.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a day. With the guard, I was assuming you were gonna get guards help, given your
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's gonna take you a day, even with guard help, to find these 4 people.
Okay.
I was gonna say he should take some guards with him just so that he is quote unquote never seen from or heard from again.
Okay.
Because confronting a dragonborn might lead to
Fine, I'll take some guards with me, Mom. Don't worry.
Thank you. Because
Okay,
this is how you died in Strat. You just went on your own. Thank you.
True. No, this is how I
Yeah.
destroyed the world.
And we
and
never
stuff.
had to hear from you again.
Yeah, well, considering we almost had one of our players die from wandering into a vampire hole by himself, last week.
Sounds lovely.
So yeah.
In any case, so you go do that. Let's do yours at the end of the day because yours is the full day. Anybody? What's the rest of you doing then? Were you all going back to the Dwarven Ales to do some more investigation?
Dwarven Ale and maybe the temple just to see if they had when
Yeah.
asking around.
We also
Sure.
haven't checked the arena, so maybe that.
Yeah, I was thinking of looking around the arena area. Also, we could see if we can post someone. So of course, them taking food and provisions and then fucking off is a theory, right? But if they gave someone food and clothes and stuff, and then they disappeared, right? Then the person who got support and food and clothes for them would be like, "Hey, where the fuck did they go?" And if it's that blue dragonborn, then they'd probably be looking around their house too. I think maybe setting up a stakeout to see if anyone's specifically looking around the house or going to go up and knock to see if anyone's home may be a smart idea as well.
You guys can set up some guards for a stakeout. I mean, you guys have resources. You guys are high level detectives as far as modern day deduction goes, right?
Yeah, because we don't
We had the bolo out for a blue dragonborn.
Yeah, basically. So let's do this in some order. For the sake of simplicity, we'll split the group up between the area, the temple, and the and the ales because that's a lot of walking for everybody. See.
Yep.
So who's going where? We have one guy, one party member's bugger buff to go do the 5 searching. Who's going to the arena?
I'll take the temple.
Okay, you'll take the temple. Constantine, you're going with Jordan.
Of course.
Okay,
And me and
who's?
Baka will take the Dwarven Ale, I guess.
Okay, you two take the Dwarven ales. Okay.
Yeah, we're really just getting hammered. Let's be honest. Just kidding.
God.
So we'll start off with the temple and Jordan. So Constantine and Jordan, you enter the temple once more. The priest sees you, greets you, goes, "Oh, you're back. May did your investigations prove fruitful?"
We are following a lead. I would inquire after whether someone has contacted you regarding the Orr family.
Be specific about the Orr family? No,
Yes.
no, I don't think so.
If you want to roll insight, I can give you advantage.
You can't give advantage on insight.
Oh.
That's always an individual check.
Okay.
Just you can't really assist someone whether to tell if they're bullshitting. You can just both roll an insight.
Both squint really hard at them
By the
and
way,
then.
if
You
have
just kind of
the-
whisper him. You see that? He's twitching.
If you have the rogue subclass, you automatically have advantage if they're lying. Because of your ears for deceit feature, Jordan.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a reason to suspect him, though. Why would he lie? You know?
It's
Okay, I would ask the same question of
Azamir,
Yes.
about the Orr family? Oh, I don't recall anyone asking about the Orr family specifically.
Have you has a blue dragonborn?
Oh, I
Shown
do
up
believe
here.
there was a blue dragon born here at some point. Yes.
If I may be so forward, could you describe him?
Big eyes, blue, well dressed.
Did you ever get a name?
I'm afraid not.
What was his inquiry about?
Oh, he just came in for some basic healing and got chatting about, there was pregnancy wards going on at the time. I was mentioning children, and we had some questions about some basic topics, mostly small talk. Talked about some of the women who've been here lately for their childbirthing and such.
I see. Basic healing.
Yeah, so he had a bit of a cut on his arm that he needed to have healed up.
I see. How long was this? How long ago was this?
6 days, maybe 7.
Okay. And Father Trailton, did this jog any of your memory?
I mean, I saw a dragonborn. I see them all the time.
Yes, I was just curious.
Oh no, it's just no, he didn't mention any. I don't remember him talking about the family at all.
Oh, thank you for your time. Okay, so he was here about a week ago being cut by something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more or less everything we can get from the church, unless someone has input.
Buck.
Maybe what the cut looks like? What caused it, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair enough question. I'm assuming we will just get that it was a general cut answer, but hey, I
Yeah,
asked it anyway.
Literally-
They didn't ask about a cut. It's not like a bullet wound, guys. It's a cut.
I
Yeah.
figured. Hey, it never hurts to ask.
Yeah.
What was cut?
Did the cut happen and tear through the clothes, or was it underneath the clothes?
It was on his arm, just above the wrist. It didn't hit the clothing by the looks of it.
Okay.
Maybe he slits his wrist for pleasure. Who knows?
Okay, well, we
Said
have...
he dropped a knife when he was cooking in his kitchen or something of the sort, as I recall.
I don't suppose he was kind enough to leave an address.
No.
Didn't
She
even
said-
get a name, much less an address.
Yeah.
I know.
I'll give you my address, not my name,
Are you
but my
sure
address.
he
Go
was
right
trying to
ahead.
hit on you, Esmire?
If it was
To leave you a
Neotar,
note?
it would have been fine. Just hit on her immediately. Here's my baby.
It's-
He doesn't have that much luck.
It was more along the lines of me giving a joke of like, hey, this wouldn't be convenient enough, would it? It wouldn't be served for a silver platter for me, really. Unfortunate.
The main reason
Okay.
I want to incite Prayton, by the way, is just because I don't like his continence. His continence makes him sound like a man who has some fucking... Like, you know, he ate too many donuts and now that messed with his moral compass for the rest of the fucking day, you know what I mean?
Yes, we both incite him. Does he eat too much donuts?
Like, he always... Like, I don't think he did anything wrong. I, honest to God, just think, like, there's gotta be something there.
Hey
That
man,
does not
you
speak
gotta
with
lose
any
some weight,
confidence.
alright? People are talking.
Priest of the temple. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but that's an investigation for a completely separate department. We should not step on their toes.
No. Hey. The order. Hey. Order Xenos fucking have to fight chaos too. If you find heresy, you work on it. You don't just go like, all right, well, gotta
Not
send
my
that over to the
department,
next
not
guy.
my
Just
problem.
let that
To
stir.
be fair, 40k is not a means you want to fucking compare anything to. It's not
To
something
be-
you want to.
Yeah.
To be fair, if an Ordo Xenos Inquisitor finds something wrong with the Ecclesiarchy, and he doesn't feel comfortable with it, he will legitimately contact an Inquisitor of the Hereticus variety and go like, hey,
It's
my
actually
guy,
Ordo Malleus that deals with the Ecclesiarchy because that's internal corruption, whereas Hereticus deals with specifically chaos threats that are external.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, enough of 40k. Let's move on.
Seriously.
The next
But yes,
thing is
jurisdiction aside, we're done here. We reconvene.
Okay, so now move over to the Dwarven Ales,
Beep, beep.
where you guys entered the place once more.
But by the way, Heath, this is a world question. When you go to a temple for basic healing, you don't get scars or anything, right?
No, they heal the scars. That's if you get it done quick enough. That's the thing. It's kind of like
that'd be
stitches.
convenient.
That would actually be a question I would ask. Was it quick enough?
She figures it was probably quick enough. The problem is if you're looking for a scar, the problem with Dragonborn is they got scales.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really scar traditionally.
You'd
planned
see
all
a
of this.
gash, and that's maybe. You might
Yeah.
see a gash. Like, it has to hit hard in order to leave a scarring, quote
Yeah.
unquote.
It's a good thing to ask. Moving on.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, with a Dragonborn, the scar might be a bit hard to come by.
Because basic healing in this world might be, oh yes, we stick the poultice on him, he should be fine in like 2 weeks.
No, apparently she would have told you. You didn't ask, but basically he actually had some enough money to get a low-level healing spell on him.
Okay.
Also a rich client. Nice.
Yes, he had money.
He's wearing fine clothing. We assume he
Listen.
has some sort of income.
Listen, you can still find clothing.
Fair enough.
This is true. Anyway, so
on.
you guys enter.
But you can also steal money. So
you guys
Yeah,
enter
but
the inn.
he would still be rich if he stole the money.
Yeah. So you guys
Not if
go
that's
back
all
to
the money.
the. Okay, guys, you go back to Dwarven Ale. We gotta wrap this up in half an hour, okay?
Fair
So let's
enough.
keep
Yeah.
moving.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yes.
So you guys entered the Dwarven Ale.
Is Marion working?
She is working, yes.
Alright. I guess me and Runcode will go and woke up and was like, Marion,
Oh,
I
you're
don't
back.
mean to bother you. I don't mean to bother you again, but we were wondering, did anyone ever come in inquiring about the ores? It was not us.
Specifically, a blue dragonborn fight clothing.
Blue Dragonborn? Don't remember a Blue Dragonborn. Apart from that one over there, she points at this guy.
It points at who?
This corner is known for having dragonborn, apparently.
Yeah, that's where all the
I
skill
don't
is.
think that would be considered fine clothing now, would it?
Nor does he have big eyes. You look at him, it's like, probably not the one you're looking for.
This is not the dragonborn you are looking for.
So no one
You
came in
heard of the
inquiring.
High Elves?
So no one came in inquiring about the ores other that wasn't us, and there was no dragonborn, finely dressed dragonborn that came in within the past week.
Ask the bartender that question as well.
Well, I was going to. I'm asking Marion first.
Not that nobody asked me about him, at least.
All right. Thank you.
It's all right.
Yes. We will. I will immediately turn around and ask the bartender the same question.
Blue Dragonborn. No, I don't really know. Though I did remember a Dragonborn. The boy talking to the boy a bit of a while ago. Wasn't blue though. I don't remember a blue Dragonborn, but there was a Dragonborn last. Black. Black though.
So there was a black dragonborn asking about them.
All right.
Not talk directly to him.
Maybe the dragonborns are up to something.
Ah, yes, my brethren. Just kidding. It was me all along, guys. I kidnapped them.
See, this
You
is actually
excited
been
the
a
wrong
really
people.
clever thing. I worked with Baka. Baka is the secret villain, guys.
Yeah.
To
I'm
be
actually
fair-
playing a changeling.
To be fair, I pulled that before, so
You joke
I mean,
about that,
dude,
but
I'd be willing to play that.
I'm suspicious of you guys now, thank you.
So,
the seeds of
Black-
distrust are now laid in
So
the
Black
party.
Dragonborn came in and talked directly to the ores. Or
Yes, the Dragonborn woman was talking to him directly.
Right.
So wanting to show me how it's done.
Grokamus the bartender Grokamus goes like, I mean, there's nothing too crazy about it. Edward's a fair-looking boy.
Well, thank you for telling us that.
No worries. What's with the Dragonborn stuff?
Running theory.
Fair enough. I don't think the boy did something he wasn't supposed to.
He might have not.
That's what we're trying to find out, whether it's the Dragonborn causing trouble, or he got himself into it.
Don't know really much about it. Like I said, nothing weird about the last hit talking to a lad.
Not at all.
I do know he had to mention that he was married a bit, though. She might have been trying to get fresh with him.
Potentially. Alright. And when was that?
I don't know exactly. It's not like I keep this on a calendar.
Well, it's
Over a week, I'd guess.
That's plausible. Time frame. Did they interact with anyone else?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right.
I mean, I get hundreds of people in here any given day. The only reason I remember the Black Dragonborn is because he was hidden on Edward. Just quite the looker for a Dragonborn too.
All right. Do you have any other questions, Venko?
Nothing that comes to mind.
All right. Thank you for your
Good day
time.
to you.
Yeah, it's all for good. Continue on, officers.
God, I hate that. I'm an officer.
I know it feels weird too, Baka. Don't worry, you're not the only one. You're not the only one.
Don't worry, guys. Next campaign, you just go out murdering humans, and then you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
I'm so used to either breaking the law or forcing people to follow new ones.
Okay,
whole-
so now back to back to you, Diotar.
Okay.
You look over the 4 Dragonborn names. You do not find a blue Dragonborn among them.
What kind of Dragonborns do I find?
You find 1 red, 1 white, a gold, and a green.
1 red, 1
White.
white, a gold and a green.
My cousin and a green one.
Okay. Well, that's it for me then. I'll just relay that to the party.
I assume me and Jay will, just in
Yeah.
case, add in the whole Black Dragonborn thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
My
I've
brain
been writing
son
down
might
the
be
important
completely
shit.
good
Dude,
because I wasn't.
I've been on the bio. Yeah, I've been on the bio section of my character sheet the entire time. I've been writing down things I think are pertinent, but
Doesn't hurt.
I don't
Yeah.
have
Well,
the attention
I
span.
know
to
my
write
dumbass
down.
is gonna forget if I don't.
I'll
Yeah.
either be writing. If I'm writing something down, I'd be missing information because I'd be focused on it.
Now, I also record the games and post them,
Yeah.
so
Thank God for that. Thank God for that.
part of the reason I do it.
Active note taking.
Also, part of the reason
helpful.
why in most games I like to play dumb people because I refuse to take notes because I'm just not going to pay any attention otherwise because I'm too
God,
busy
I'm-
trying to.
God, I plan on going back over and checking if I missed anything.
I'm
Okay,
so
so-
not.
Okay, so this is Diotar. Your day spent. You guys spend the rest of the day looking over stuff. Day 2 passes.
Yep.
Day
I
3
wonder-
begins.
Where is the kidnapping, Heath? I know it happened. Where is it?
To be determined. We're still looking for it.
Actually, I did roll for this,
I figured.
but it did not happen today.
It did happen, we're just not informed yet.
Moving on.
I mean, what else can we do in the next half an hour? Anyone got any ideas, any clues?
Check over the
No.
arena.
Yeah,
We haven't been to
there
the
is
arena
still an
yet. I was
option.
gonna say,
Yeah, you can still do the arena quick, and that would probably be where we'll end it for the night.
Sure.
yeah, that sounds good.
So you guys head over to the arena. You see many people. There seems to be basically it's a combat arena, though they occasionally do things like circuses and other stuff for people. You guys have been here before. It's a good way for people to kind of pass the days away. What are you
Okay.
looking for at the arena? That's just the basic description, but basically, you guys trying to go when it's busy, when it's before it's busy? When you guys trying to go for a time frame?
I assume initially we're just getting there early on.
Okay. To go there
Early
before the
today.
arena opens up, and you basically there's not a lot of people around, but you do see some of the opening staff getting it ready for the evening.
And we want to inquire about the people that went missing here. Preferably the citizens, see what business they did.
Okay, so you're just going around talking to the general staff about the one of the missing slaves.
No, there's a citizen that went missing here, right?
Over by the well.
Yeah, way by the well. but yeah,
by the
this-
way, my bad.
Yeah,
my
like-
bad.
by the arena was here. Yeah, like,
Yeah, I know. That's fair.
Yeah.
like that. That's quite a distance from the arena. They wouldn't have any kind of specific info.
Fair enough.
If you're looking for the citizen, they'd have information about the slave that disappeared near there, but not the citizen.
might as well ask about around the slave.
Okay, well, with that, asking about the slave, because you would actually discover that was actually one of the gladiatorial slaves that escaped or went missing.
Presumed escaped, but actually went missing. Got it.
Yeah, they presume escape, but but is missing. Presumed escape.
When did this slave go missing?
This one went missing about 2 days before the previous kidnapping. You guys, this is the most recent kidnapping, besides the one you guys just dealt with.
Oh, okay.
This is the second most. Got it.
The trail's still fresh.
When were they last seen? What were they? Same general questions we've been asked. Like, what were they
Yeah,
last
it-
seen?
The general basic thing of when they were last seen was basically the night of their last fight. This one was a little different than the others. Generally, arena slaves are kept in like very close guarded, safe spots because they're dangerous by just the very nature of what they do.
Yes.
This guy was basically supposed to be in a cell, but the cell was opened.
The cell was open?
Yes.
What?
Was anyone guarding the cell?
Okay. I mean, for anybody that's actually watching the video, right? This wasn't pre-planned. We didn't just get to the best, save the best for last. Like, this is a pure coincidence.
We just literally, first 3 hours. Yeah, we got sun, and we started building up.
Yeah, a little bit. Like some
Yeah.
sounds were kind of nothing
Who
serious.
was on guard? Who
broke
was
out.
guarding that slave? Was anyone?
Nobody
guarding
was
this-
guarding him. He was just in a cell. Like, usually don't worry about guards because they're in locked cells. Most people don't bother to go in and break people out, so they didn't really think of having a guard.
Was the lock broken?
It was picked.
It was picked. Does the slave have deft hands? Are they a rogue?
Well, considering he was like a giant-sized orc with a battle axe, probably not the most dexterous.
Alex, and I have to ask, like I've seen some weird player characters in my lifetime.
I've seen a
Dr.
handful.
Stroganoff is an average character.
If you're asking whether he picked the lock, you're like, probably not.
Press
All right.
X 10 times to doubt.
Okay, so he had outside help.
Potentially.
Most likely.
Can we go check out the cell? Like,
Yep, you can go explore the cell. You guys definitely have that
God
right
damn
to
it.
do so.
My dimension door theory is ruined now. It's in shambles.
fuck your dimension door here.
It's been in shambles since you introduced it. There's nothing.
I was gonna
holding
say
it up.
it's been down. It's been
Well, I
down.
mean, for all intents and purposes, your dimension door theory is still possible. It's just the dimension door was used after he got out of the cell.
Yeah, true.
No,
yeah, for
no,
someone to
the
get in
only-
the cell,
the
grab
only-
him and do it.
Yeah, the only problem you need to fix now there, that is how that wizard is hiding in literally the worst place he can ever be. That's the only. That's the only
Do
hinge
you
in
know
your
how
theory.
he's hiding it? Because he's actually an angel wizard. It's an enemy angel.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds
moving
like
on.
heresy.
Sounds like
Anyways, back to the discussion at hand before it gets too late.
All right. What's the cell like? Like, is there anything off about this particular cell? Like anything that I don't know.
besides the pick lock.
Anything that would I was gonna say anything other than the picked lock that would stand out.
I mean, it looks like a pretty basic cell, honestly.
All right.
Nothing you would say that's like, oh yes, this is obviously, it's cell of like
Eureka!
it's got a cot, right? It's got a bucket for
It's-
purposes why they have buckets.
It's
Yes.
a cell.
Yeah, it's a cell. Nothing strikes you as anything particularly bizarre.
The sill shouldn't be that important.
You know-
Like, anyone can theoretically pick a lock. But what was like, what was the quote-unquote disposition of the fighter? Like, what were his incoming fights? Like, what were his past fights?
He was one of the better fighters, better known gladiators in the area.
Was he grouchy that night? Did
He's
he lose
grouchy
a
every
fight?
night. He literally doesn't like having to fight people to the death.
Mhm. I
He's a
don't know.
pacifist.
He's not a baka then, I see.
What do
Yeah.
you mean?
He fought. He was one of the better things. He's also one of the more vicious or people known to be in the arena. Like, you don't fuck with this guy. He was pretty
But
damn
the-
deadly and pretty damn. What's the word I'm looking for? He did not like people much.
But he's a lover, not a fighter, I see.
No, he just didn't want to be forced to fight to kill people.
Pretty sure he was A-okay with killing. He just didn't want to do it on a daily basis. I don't know.
He was a big burly orc who fought in the arena, is what you guys gather. For specifics, I mean,
had there been any Dragonborn or anyone around asking about that fighter in particular?
Either persuasion or investigation, your pick.
You know, I'm better at persuasion, but I've been rolling like shit all night. 14. It's not horrible.
No, nobody no Dragonborn specific. Like, there's lots of Dragonborns. Like, there's a few thousand in the city.
What about one matching their descriptions?
Matching the description of the blue? No, you don't. They didn't get anyone necessarily matching the description of the blue, and none of them are specifically asking about him. A couple bet on him. Then that's about as much as you can get.
A couple of Dragonborn bet on him. Did they bet on him winning or losing?
They bet on him winning.
I was about to say, who's gonna bet on someone like that fucking losing, Duratar?
Yeah,
I
the
don't
people
know.
who go
I
for the
could be
long shots.
convinced.
Yeah, you get the long shot odds, right?
Yeah.
Because go for the long shot, bid a little bit, but you're still going to get a shit ton of return.
I mean, it's literally how gambling houses work.
I don't gamble, man.
Yeah, just letting you know.
Don't gamble. Don't know that.
But like I said, a lot of the people. Also, I would say to the point too, you notice that the majority of people taken, just extra info you guys have gathered, orcs, hobgoblins, and some lizard folk seem to be the top 3 people taken.
So,
That works.
So,
Citizen.
very physically strong in
Yep.
general.
what about
Okay.
the citizens who were taken?
were-
Were they all human?
Nope. There was the 2 humans. There was an elf. And there would have been also a. So there was the 2 humans. There was the elf, and there was also a gnome.
Whose theory was it that like the slaves pay with labor and the citizens with gold?
That was mine.
Maybe they're
Maybe it's an
using boats
underground
to get
fighting ring, really.
No, I thought maybe it's like what's it called? Well, maybe they're using boats and the slaves are used to like pedal row ships while the citizens stand above and they all escape together.
Yeah, but if that's the case, why would they go through all this trouble to like get a well-known slave? Like, I understand getting like just random slaves here and there for manual labor, but once you actually like break someone like this out, it's way too much effort for like someone to row a boat.
I mean, business, my guy. You know, like it's fame. It's everybody was gonna hear about like, oh, this arena fighter got out. You know, it's good advertising. They're getting paid in exposure.
If they're advertising, we would know about it by now.
No, maybe it's I don't know anymore. Okay.
The issue with kidnapping a famous person is, if there's nobody talking about it, odds are it ain't advertised for
I mean,
popularity.
listen, until the last person We didn't even think that these were like actual kidnappings. We just thought that people were running away. So maybe the cops
That's
haven't
not
gotten-
necessarily
done a
true.
good job, you know.
That it might not be true for everyone. Like you're assuming that there's only like one case here. It might be that one family essentially just escaped and the other slaves are unrelated. Like, don't just assume that this is one thing that's going on in the city. Like, remember Valaki? All is well in Valaki, right? Yeah, all is well in Valaki.
I don't remember Valaki because I was never in Valaki, says Joel to Ephraim.
Okay, so
These are potential leads, but that doesn't mean they're specifically connected.
Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, an underground fighting ring would actually solve a lot of the problems that most of my theories have. Like, why bother kidnapping so many people? Where do the bodies go? And things like that, you know?
why would you kidnap a pregnant lady to fucking go to an underground battle arena?
God, this discussion! This might be a separate case!
Yeah,
Pregnant lady and the missing, like, beast human race is disappearing. Might
okay.
be two
Okay.
separate
Also,
things.
maybe there's animals. Animals
Okay.
need to eat.
I understand this, but you see, if for me, if the slaves aren't connected to the fucking missing people, that I don't care about the slaves.
Yes, well, our job is to investigate.
Our job
this.
is
Our
to
job is
find
to
out the
investigate.
entirety of the thing, not just
Our
what
job
we
is to
like
find
about
out about the fucking families, not the slaves.
it. No, our job is to solve the disappearances.
Okay, I see.
We got involved because of the citizens.
This
but
was
our job
3
is to-
days ago. Do you have a memory issue, Arwen?
Yeah.
Not Arwen, Joe.
Do you have a memory issue, Irvin?
Ephraim.
And
All
no meat
you-
burger.
Look, I had 1 beer 2 days ago and a -2 to con. I'm still drunk.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh damn it.
I don't know.
We are very good at making a serious campaign.
We are.
No, I wasn't expecting this to be super serious, guys. I was just letting you guys know that this was a good. Well, with that, as you guys have your latest clue, I guess actually we'll call it there because any more time spent would only get things further into the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just stop in the